flowing metal device that seems to constantly wrap back in on itself is designed to create an extraplanar portal, yes. The barrier I had erected using the energies of that golem you destroyed was intended to contain any further creatures that pass through before its intended work is complete.
And what exactly is going to happen?
There is an infection spreading across the physical planes of existence. This, and others like it, are the source. Strange, not quite undead, but not living creatures pour from them and consume entire worlds.
Inside check.
Go for it.
Because, that's, Oris has been around. That's pretty big to swallow and just take on face value.
And Jacques just leans back and is like, "Does this elective experience
17 total?
Oh.
It seems like he knows more than he's saying about these creatures, whatever they may be. He's being honest about this device being the source of these creatures, but he's still withholding other facts.
This device is so strange.
By your reckoning, then, if I am to understand this correctly, and it is similar at other sites, the falling meteors that happened, 30 years ago was an attack of some kind?
That is probably the best word for it, yes.
What else can you tell us about these creatures, then?
They tear across physical planes of existence, consuming the living, the resources, all of it.
Yes, you've said all of that. I mean, specifics. Are they bipedal? Do they walk on four legs? Do they have tentacles? Are they acidic, poisonous, venomous? Are they resistant to, when someone yells at them? Do they not like bludgeoning damage? Come on, work with me here.
Can we kill them?
Who are you?
That's a huge question.
They can be killed. They seem to replenish their ranks from the living they consume. So their forms can be many, and their resistances vary. But their horde is so numerous that it is rare for resistance to hold its ground.
But not impossible.
Not impossible, if you were prepared.
So who are you to this portal?
An unfortunate stowaway?
You're not from this realm?
Meteor?
Extraplanar travel is strange. You can get paths mixed up.
On a meteor?
It may be physical now. It was not while it traveled.
On a meteor.
How many times exactly have you left this plane of existence?
Well, I mean, I hear of some people doing it, kind of often. A lot of people go to the Fey Wilds.
Your tree up there.
One.
I don't think I've met anyone that's climbed the tree.
Have I met anyone that's climbed the tree? Is that like a
No
common
one
thing?
has ever climbed the tree.
I could climb a tree. I climb trees all the time.
Not the world tree, goodbye.
Without a very big tree.
Well, considering how much that dwarven lady was ready to pay us to clear this place out, I think he would say anything to get us to leave him alone.
That is curious. Did you meet anyone else while you've been down here these past 27 years?
Only the golem.
Do you know that your golem has been making smaller versions of itself to collect monaculite?
Is that what you call it here?
That's what we call it here. What do you call it?
It's not the worst name I've heard. Magicite on my homeworld, though the name makes little difference.
Oh,
The golem's facsimiles? Do you have that word?
yes, we do.
The facsimiles are mindless. They do little more than play games.
Oh, well, those games got quite lethal for some of the denizens and some of the miners.
More like the large one, but I suppose it's possible they were violent. They're nothing now. You've killed the host.
Yes, well, they were upsetting a lot of people. And we were getting paid money, and we met a very nice blue guy who told us that he needed some help.
I believe averting disaster will bring more happiness than the golem brought pain.
Yes, but if no one knows about the disaster, then it can't, bring happiness.
And if trees
Yeah,
fall in
gotcha.
forests and no one is around, do they still make sound? Yada yada yada.
I mean,
No.
theoretically, yes, they do.
Oh,
I was poking at the philosophical nature of your argument.
Ah, yes.
But it is not the same. No. The
I
tree
didn't
is
see
not
any poking.
cause chaos.
Before we get into string chaos theory, let's let's go back to the
This
text
conversation's taking a weird turn.
Yeah, Thrak is going
No.
over here and just sitting down, rubbing his temples. Like, what?
Yeah, like I
is
think
here?
Oris is like just like looking up towards
Coming
the
at him.
ceiling right now, just kind of quiet, processing some of this information. Because it's a lot to take in that like your world's been attacked by an extra-dimensional entity that uses meteors flying through what you can only assume to be the void as a medium.
Yes. Somebody who's been trying to turn it off for 27 years.
Contain it. I don't think turning it off has ever been possible.
I don't know.
He did specifically use the word disable.
Well, just time for
How much
27
longer?
years.
So how much longer do you guys think he's gonna take? I mean, we might be able to help him out, but if it's another 27 years, I mean, I got time, but some of y'all don't.
What would
I
make this
mean,
worse? What would
I
make
feel
this whole
like that
situation
comment's
worse?
directed at me.
No, it's more directed at the ones that haven't lived 82 decades, I live a long time, I'm only 100 something. They're still like 9,000, who knows? But,
You,
the
you
half
know,
orc
9,000 is a bigger number than 120, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm
What?
gonna live for a long time still.
Right, but you just called them.
Yourselves.
Le Rude.
Do not make me le fairy.
All right, so
The flowing metal in the center.
Uh-huh.
And we
I'm
don't
gonna
have a
turn towards
fairy in it.
Thrak and be like,
can you at least identify that metal at least? Maybe, perhaps.
Ooh, that's a fun one.
I
do you wanna
can
try?
Try, sure.
Yeah. Roll me perception with advantage.
Perception with advantage.
Because you do know metals. That's something you do know quite a lot about.
Mm.
Oh my god. I don't know anything about metal.
It's
Can I roll
metal.
perception with disadvantage?
No. It was an opportunity I gave him specifically because he has those skills.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. If you got closer and had like all the time in the world to inspect it, you could probably figure it out. But it doesn't look quite like any alloy you've seen before.
I really
I
can't
think
really tell what that is from just looking at it.
I think he procrastinated for 27 years. He put it off, and he's now trying to turn it off.
Right. I don't actually mean to be rude, but it does sound very implausible that you've been here for, well, 27 years trying to turn off one device.
Not so much as a protein bar wrapper.
I mean, he's like the
What
other.
is
That's
a
an
protein
excellent point as
bar?
well. Are there any living implements like a bed, things to eat, a fireplace?
So that's actually kind of interesting. You do see things that resemble your typical camping implements, but the thing that sort of resembles a bedroll actually has like a thickness to it that you normally would only expect out of a mattress. And it's all sort of back against the wall behind him. Uh, and there seems to be like some small boxes that are made of metal, but they don't seem to have hinges anywhere. But you assume they're containers of some kind. And then there is like it's sort of like a barrel made of steel, but it's only like 3 feet high, and there seem to be remnants of like burnt fuel in it.
Hmm.
I mean, guys,
Okay.
we've been talking for a couple minutes. He could have killed us easily by now, probably, if he wanted to. I don't think he's that bad.
I
If he
mean,
was
Yes,
capable of it, you don't know this guy.
distracted.
He's in front of a magical computer thing. That's good enough for me.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So, what would happen if I tried to destroy this machine?
Well, a number of things could occur. It could explode, annihilating us all and possibly ripping a massive hole in this continent. It could suck us all into some other random plane of existence. It could send us somewhere completely random on this plane of existence. It's a very strange and complex device. Almost anything could happen when you destroy it.
1 in 3 chances of doom and destruction? I kind of like those odds.
I mean, another plane of existence is
Oh,
basically doom.
I heard when you destroy it, not if you destroy it. So
It's destroyed.
He never claimed that you couldn't destroy it. He
Oh,
just said it would be a bad idea.
uh,
are you going to need another 27 years of alone time?
I certainly hope not. I've got maybe 6 months left.
And then what happens?
It completes its work.
Which is the
Open a portal for the infection we spoke of previously to pour through into your world.
and what do you want to do to stop that from happening?
The only thing that I know will work for sure is to figure out the proper combination of subcommands to get this device to shut down as opposed to explode or suck me into some plane of existence filled with terrifying monsters all made of needles or some shit.
But you said you've traveled through the planes before. If you get swapped to a different plane, couldn't you just do it again?
Previously, I had a ship. I did not do it myself.
Where's your ship now? Is it under your mattress?
Destroyed when it crossed paths with this thing.
Oh, this is a spore.
so there's also
That's a better way to look at it. Like, not trying to reveal anything, but based on his description, Zemnis, that does feel like a more accurate way to look at it.
What did you say? A spore?
Mm-hmm.
Not the good kind, you little green crazy thing.
Oh, you mean like a mushroom? I like
Yeah.
mushrooms.
Kempar's like,
Or
mushroom!
eating it.
Hey!"
I
I have
would
5 new
suggest not
tokens
eat
that
it.
I'm linking.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Let me look.
They're not important, but you might enjoy them. They
It's
are
not the Dwarven Warband,
dwarven
is it?
themed. Yep.
Oh, yeah?
The
They're not
dwarven
important right
warband.
now, no, but they'll be useful later.
So with the
Yep.
death of your golem, what now?
So
Now, I continue to hope to complete my work before anything else manages to use the strange paths this thing created to find its way to your world.
So
But
things have been coming out of that portal, and you just watch them walk away.
He lifts up his sleeve and shows like this massive bruise around his elbow. You've had broken bones before. You know exactly what that is.
Oh,
He
you
says,
scrape at your elbow. I'm so sorry.
Okay, don't
I
mind him.
consider a break more significant than a scrape.
Yet
But
the gate was
no,
in
I did
place.
not simply watch. As you saw, I bound that golem to create a barrier. It's not my fault if something else managed to get through it. I did my best.
Well, it sounds like there is no difference between now and before.
27 years is a long time to find the off button. Or whatever that happens to be.
It is an
Like,
exceptionally complex machine.
it's actually got a 7-password lockout, and he's just been like brain frozen on the 6th one.
No,
for,
he's
like,
just been
27 years.
scrawling SHA-256 algorithms on the cave walls, trying to decrypt it. It's hard to do by hand.
Well, it looks like you have everything under control. Like, walk away.
Yeah, we'll just tell him not to go too deep in the mine, right?
Well, I
You will,
have some more
cause an avalanche.
questions. For example, if other sites are exactly like this one, then are
Ooh.
others like you actually maintaining the other incursion sites, we'll call them?
I have no way to know. If you're lucky, there are others at each one.
Doesn't that make what you're doing here a little hopeless then? I mean, if you managed to spend 27 years fixing this one, what if something is happening to the other ones?
If I can stem the flood and make the fight easier, it gives your world a bigger chance.
Yeah, but I mean, your ship has 15 holes in it. You plug one, the ship's still sinking.
This is a heavy
I
investment.
can only do what I'm able. Would you like me to somehow magically make copies of myself and send them out to places I've never been?
Yes, that would be perfect.
Sounds feasible.
I've seen
yeah.
I've seen
I am
weirder
one
things.
person. I am doing what I can.
That is not
Okay.
enough.
Okay, so well, let's think about this, guys. How many of those meteors hit? I don't. I
A
was kind of
lot.
busy. That's a lot of problems.
I'm sure there was someone that chronicled how much. I did not. I was getting drunk in a tavern at the time, I believe.
And I was too focused on training.
Training for what?
Oh, let's just say we have a tradition and it didn't go so well for me.
Oh,
So I trained after that.
okay. Sorry to hear that.
Thanks. It sounds like it was all for nothing right now.
All right. So what I'm hearing is that our world has been attacked by some sort of extra-dimensional entity, creating what we can only assume to be sites of incursion with weird liquid metal magic portals that lead to somewhere,
Not here.
and they will pour in, or are pouring in, at these sites as we speak. And this one's gonna blow in 6 months, but you've been maintaining it, so.
So we're supposed to find the others and somehow
We should
stop
definitely
them.
find the others, but
That
look,
still
guys,
doesn't help.
we're not like legends or anything like that. Like we kicked ass on the basilisk and the golem was awesome, but we also fucking almost lost to some grass. So first
That
things
is
first,
fair.
the
Yeah,
things that we need
terrible grass.
is to tell the authorities, because they would need to fucking get people on this immediately. Because I'm really sorry, I haven't asked your name. What's your name?
Hang on.
How are the authorities gonna believe this though? That's the other problem, because this is still someone's mind according to, their thought process.
Yeah, we're probably also gonna have to either heavily regulate that or stop that entirely, which I don't see doing because it's a pretty big industry now.
Hopefully
He
they have
says-
somebody of a higher level.
He says, my name is Zophie.
Zophie. Well, Zophie,
Zophie, what?
What do you mean?
Do you only have one name?
you don't have
Do you have more?
surnames? Yes, we
I
have.
am
Okay.
Jacques de Bois.
Well, we have personal names like, Oris or Jaquise or Thrak. Or Thrak, do you have a last name?
Oh, he's being
Uh,
stupid.
No,
I have a last
I am
name.
just Thrak.
Well, some of us only have single names, but some of us have a personal name and a family name, and then others just have their name.
You are
That's
really
a lot to say and remember.
Really, you're not like of a clan or anything like that?
He turns towards Thrak.
Yeah, no, nothing. Not even a title.
No, I mean, I grew up with my human father, so
Then what was your father's last name?
I
Because that would be your last name.
I can give him a last name.
That is true.
I volunteer.
You are a Thrak kicking clubber.
What? That's a terrible name.
Yeah,
You're a terrible
I-
name.
I agree.
I don't like that.
Guys, this is beyond the problem right now.
See,
There's a
this
big
is a
metal-
This
question
is
we
a
can
problem
handle,
that we can
though.
handle. Yeah, for sure.
This is more on our level.
This is manageable. This is something that's helping me calm down. Just shut up for a second.
Yeah, I'm confused. My father's last name is Arnor, so I guess I am Thrak Arnor.
Thrak Arnor. That's a fine name. Zimnus, what's your last name, if you have one?
Don't have one.
No. What, like, not of a clan or anything?
What is your father's last name? And I was like,
We don't do that in the Dancing Oasis. They're all one big family.
Oh, it's from the. Never mind.
Been there. It's a great place to get drunk.
They're all from there. Just to be really clear, every halfling you meet originated in the Dancing Oasis. That's where they're
Right,
all
they
from.
originated from there, but
Yeah.
they're not. They can't like. Not all of them are from there. Like I was born
Yes.
in. They were all born in the Dancing Oasis. Every
Yes.
single halfling in existence.
Yes.
You have an
Yes, that is
entire-
where their family is. Where do you go when you give birth to a child? To your family.
an entire
There's
culture
no
based on
unplanned
incest.
like, oh shit, we didn't make it there, so we were born
How
like.
fucking long do you think it takes to have a baby, man? Like,
I mean,
you have
travel
a lot
also
of time
takes
to
a while
plan.
in this world.
It's true, but like, as soon as you figure it out, you start heading home. You're probably gonna make it.
They don't
You're
even
gonna-
let
Maybe like
women. And
sure. There's probably a statistic out there that guarantees that at least 1 or 2 or 300 of them weren't born in that particular place.
No,
But-
fuck that. This is magic. They can't even have the baby until they enter the territory.
But yeah, but I mean, effectively, yes. Almost every single halfling you ever meet is born there.
Okay.
An
And
entire
maybe it is
culture
magical. It is
based
definitely
on dating your
cultural.
family.
I mean, I understand having like a cultural homeland and all of that, but like once again, statistically, not super likely. But anyways, we digress.
Indeed.
So, what the fuck about the portal?
Well, like I said, we need to like contact somebody. We need like probably some like, I don't know, magical barrier experts or some shit.
Right, we need an adult.
We're all adults here.
Can we do that in 6
But
months?
of course we are.
I would rather not procrastinate on that, preferably.
You got connections? You're old. I don't.
I do actually know a couple of people who probably know some people, but not like immediate connections, no.
Okay.
But, I mean, so we definitely need to go back to the city and alert people, and then we need to go find.
like who is a higher authority in Gallenhide?
So
Like the paladins?
the paladins would be like the high military authority. There is like a city watch that's just like people, and not specifically like a group of magical warriors.
Right.
So you could try starting with them. Hey, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Who is like bureaucratic leader persons? Like,
How much
is
would
there
our
like a
pet-
minister, a mayor, something?
We could try asking the Arnaxi collective. They send people out to fetch for magic items. They may have seen something that they can't explain.
So this is something you would probably know just because you're old as fuck. The current royal family of Gellenhide are the Newlems. And it's not impossible to get an audience with them or anything. Like they're very open to seeing their people and hearing about their problems.
Who's their public representative? Like who like when they don't deign to deal with the problem, who deals with their intermediaries?
I haven't named that person specifically yet, to be honest.
Fair enough, but they exist, right? I could potentially maybe get a meeting with them easier than an actual royal family.
Maybe there probably is some kind of like clerk that may be able to like
I'm
take
assuming I'd have to
issues
work
from
my way up
people
the
who are
ladder.
willing to wait
Yeah.
for an audience. But who knows how long it would take the royal family to then get that message about that issue and actually act on it and so on and so forth. So
Right. We'll deal with that problem once we get above the ground.
All right, so
We're just telling them good luck and leaving?
I mean,
are you?
I really don't know if we should do anything else.
What
I
honestly can we do?
somewhat believe him about the portal and all of that. And I don't have any more questions that I can think of. What happens if we toss something into the portal?
If you throw something at the device, I'm not sure. In 27 years, I haven't tried.
What? Really?
Why would I risk causing some sort of catastrophic reaction? I sort of live here now, so
As a man of science, you can't say you haven't tried something.
what is scientific about that?
Well, you don't know what'll happen if you do.
Hank walks over to an outlet and unplugs it. That was the problem.
It was this here all along. Fucking just unplug the power, you stupid scientist.
Stupid American.
Horace is gonna pick up a pebble, like nothing larger than that, and try and like toss it into the liquid sphere.
Okay. So you toss your pebble at the sphere of like liquid metal, and it dings off like it would ding off anything else made of metal.
So it has, well, decent density, right? Makes sense.
Force field.
I mean,
Maybe
there was
like-
a decided like clang, like it hit something metal. It didn't seem like it bounced off a force field.
I have a question.
What's up?
What's something that can happen right now that would make you angry?
Are you asking the guy?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why?
You're no fun.
I bet if we start erasing all of his drawings, he'd be pretty pissed.
That was a joke. Those aren't actually there.
Oh, damn.
Does anyone have a torch? Because I don't.
Yeah, I have torches.
Try and stick one in the middle.
Stick
Scientific
the
method.
torch in
Why are you
the
determined to make
metal?
something terrible happen?
Why are you determined to stop us?
To avoid something terrible?
You have had 27 years of a chance. It is our turn.
You don't
He
by
just like
chance have
rubs
a
the bridge
He's
of his
got a
nose
point,
between his
and
thumb
I
and his,
ready
and
array.
his forefinger.
Don't worry. If a giant explosion happens and nukes half the continent, we'll take responsibility.
Look,
Yeah,
your console over there is
because-
supposed to be the
Well,
control for this device.
But of course you know
Yes.
YOLO.
Then presumably you have some way to read inputs and outputs, correct?
Yes.
So what's the problem with maybe poking at it a little and watching what happens on your little device there?
Because with no way to fully understand how a device
you
that creates
know
extraplanar
the-
portals. Stop interrupting me. If you want an answer to a question, allow me to answer it.
Go for it.
Rude.
You do not have to yell.
Because,
That keeps
again,
strict
with no way to fully understand how the physical manifestation of a device that creates extraplanar portals truly works, sticking a torch in it could, as I've said about almost all of your other suggestions, cause literally anything to happen, regardless of what the console tells me.
Well, I mean, if it's a portal to another dimension, that's kind of magical, right? Have you tried just turning off the magic?
Of course, that was the first thing I tried. It's not exactly easy to work this device, and even if it were, it didn't accept the command.
Well, why command? Why don't you just use a spell?
I don't cast magic.
Well, I mean, you traveled through dimensions. You probably know somebody who
I told
did.
you I had a ship.
With magic.
Well, then, did you travel here knowing what this portal did? Because if I were stranded in a new dimension, my first thought would be fixing the ship.
All right, I'm checking out like his clothes. Does he have any like special markings? Is he with anybody specifically, like part of a group?
Okay, what experience do you have identifying like group markings? Just
Gangs
curiously.
and stuff. So like
Gangs
any
and stuff like that?
independently like marketized symbols or unique
And
flares obviously would represent a group in his mind.
yeah, that makes sense. Just a second. Sorry, my mouse is being. God, I can't wait till my new mouse gets here. Go ahead and roll me up an investigation check.
I
And you
suck
can
at
have
everything.
advantage because of your experience.
6. A 0 and a 6.
0.
I'm doing great.
Unfortunately, his clothes seem very ornate to you, and you're not able to identify any specific symbols.
Fair enough.
See, that's why I'm kind of confused now. He teleported to this other dimension in his ship, which broke when you came into contact with this device.
I never used the word teleport.
Ah, well.
This is why you're confused. You keep adding parts to the story.
Well, you made it here, crashed into this thing, your ship was destroyed, and the very first thing you did was, hey, in 27 years this thing's gonna break, so I should probably not fix my ship?
That is when you parked your unicorn.
When you describe something as destroyed, do you mean that it can be repaired? I do not. I mean that it is gone. Destroyed.
Oh, so, I mean, are the pieces around here somewhere? Maybe we can
Do
help.
you see pieces around?
I don't think this argument is working in your favor.
I don't think this argument is working in anyone's favor.
You said you got here on a ship, but your ship is nowhere to be found.
I told you that I became a stowaway of sorts with this device when I collided with it and my ship was destroyed. I have explained in fullness how I arrived.
So, you said your ship was destroyed, but it's not here. So you know...
Okay, he's gonna disengage with you completely, Kedpari, and just go back to his console.
Does that mean we can find it?
Go ahead and, wander away and find it if you want to.
He does not care if you put fire under it anymore.
Nobody said anything about that. See, you guys gotta stop just, saying stuff.
So, can I stick a head or a hand in between these rocks where the portal is located?
They're not rocks.
It's twisting metal. That's right.
It's kind of like Silver Surfer type thing.
Oh, okay. So what would happen if I were to touch the device itself?
You can try.
I will do so.
So you reach out and touch it.
I reach out and touch Faith.
So when you touch it, it doesn't feel like metal. It feels like wet clay. And it moves underneath your hand in you can feel the ridges and the smooth valleys in between them. And you can feel a power that's hard to describe and immense, but one that you've started to become familiar with because as a fey creature, you're very connected to the magical world around you, and it feels like Golumnroot's energy, the very same natural magics that filter through this world.
You said that it doesn't feel like metal; it feels like wet clay. Is it malleable, or is it?
You can't push into it, no.
Okay.
But the texture of it feels like wet clay.
I felt this energy before. I think I felt this energy when I came from the Feywild to the material plane. It feels like Golumnroot's energy.
That makes perfect sense. The device absorbs the magic of the natural world around it to power its portal.
So if the device absorbs the magic of the world around it, what if we could get some magicians to cast a no magic, like an anti-magic circle around it? Then it wouldn't have anything to absorb.
You could certainly try.
It's not that big of an area.
I also don't know any magicians.
I don't know anyone that strong, no.
Yeah, that's what, a 5th level spell?
Yeah.
Anti-magic circle?
Yeah, it's a 5th
And
level
you have
spell,
to
and then
cast
to
it
keep
every
it
single day
permanency,
for a year. Yeah.
Make it permanent, I think, yeah.
Yeah, it would cost an immense amount in materials, or be like a 9th level caster or something like that.
Well, that kind of puts that idea out the window. If there was a window.
Well, I mean, if it really is a doomsday scenario, maybe someone should pony up.
Fine, and he gives you the $20 he owes you.
Thank you. But that's not exactly what I was talking about.
Such a greedy old man.
So, well,
So,
I guess we need to go get some people that actually know anything about stuff.
Yeah, some
Because
people
I don't know anything.
smarter than us. Or me, really.
Does anyone have any objections? Or
No, this is out of my league.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely,
definitely.
way out.
yeah. I'm just a blacksmith. I don't know nothing about this.
They call them colored smiths now.
No, no, they don't.
Oh my god.
Can I try
I have a
What
problem. I think I'm funny.
what? No, let's not do that. No,
You think I could try something stupid?
you can always
No.
try something stupid.
One of my trinkets, being from one of my trinkets from the book says that I got a flask of spectral glowworms that change color to reflect the mood of the flask's holder.
Okay.
If I were to put that on top of the like my idea is that he said this was a portal to another dimension that held these monsters that carried a disease that were planning on doing some weird stuff. Possibly world-ending stuff. So if I put this on the portal, can I see if it's radiating a certain emotion?
So you want to set it like on top of the sphere and try and see how the worms react.
Yeah.
Okay, so you fly up top and you set the little flask down and you start watching the worms. And at first they do nothing. They glow their standard like neutral color. But then slowly one of them starts to glow black. And then
Oh.
another starts to glow red. And then pink. And then blue. And then they're all lit up in various colors. And then they start shifting through colors in like a circle. Like they're passing them to each other. And then one of them pops. And I'm going to need you to roll a dexterity saving throw to see if you can snatch it fast enough.
Oh my god, you microwaved your worm.
You monster!
Oh no.
You
Oh no,
monster!
Save
two
nothing.
more pop before you're able to like bat it off of the sphere. You don't even actually like manage to catch it, and it sort of like clatters to the ground, and there's like 3 little worms left in it, like covered in the guts of their companions, just like very blue colored right now, even though no one's holding them.
That orb is
They
full of
solemnly
explosive
swear
emotional energy.
yeah, I don't know what to do with that, Kitpari.
All the energy on the other side of that portal is leaking through. All the emotional energy. And it's being magnified because my little glowworms just took a dive.
I'm sorry about your glowworms. But
Are
the issue remains the same. We're not skilled enough to handle this problem on our own. We need to go contact people that are.
Yeah, we definitely got to get out of here.
Right. So,
Probably fast. Took us many days to get down here.
okay.
Almost
Well,
3,
then
yeah.
we need to start walking back then.
I'll
That
pick up
reminds me.
what's left of my flask.
I need to
We
go
need
to
to stop by Ebo and talk to him about all of the goings on and probably tell him that he should find a new home, which is, oh, it's going to break his heart.
I hope that wolf is okay. And her children.
Oh, right. There's that. Let's hope we
Didn't
don't
you
have to
guys
deal with.
kill the shit out of her?
One of
Oh
the
yeah,
one,
and
one
her
of the
babies.
one of the
One
puppies.
baby's dead.
That's
They
right.
healed her.
Then we
You healed
stabilized
her
her.
back
Right.
to 0 hit points, that not bleeding out.
Yeah, I
So-
stabilized her so that the puppies will have their mama.
That's
Except
right.
for
I remember.
except
that.
for one.
She died in an awesome
Except for
way and then
one.
came back.
She
She
has
knows
Yeah.
more about
permanent
that.
emotional damage.
Boomerang pup.
All right, well,
Boomer Wolf.
let's not
Yep.
spend any more time dawdling.
So you make
I-
your way to leave.
Forgot your name already, but we will be
Zoe.
back with more assistance. Sophie, that's right. Write that down real quick.
27 years.
That's a long time. Especially to still be working on the same thing.
You think he could find a way to track them? I mean, if this thing gives off an energy, he can probably track that energy,
Really
right?
long time to be working on the same thing. That's the one thing that I keep getting stuck on. Is he's been doing this for 27 years and gotten no progress
You've
whatsoever.
spent a long time down here conversing with him. I'll let you roll another insight check if you want to.
Alright, where's my die? Come here.
Anyone
20,
can.
well, dirty 20, but
I mean, dirty 20 is still a pretty good roll. Hang on. Can I?
I literally can't get higher than that, so I'm not going to roll.
I got
Okay.
-1 or 2, so yeah.
I'm gonna DM it to you because I kind of
Okay.
want to start whispering like the good inside stuff.
okay. I like it. I'm ready.
I like that for story driving. That is fun.
Mm.
Hmm.
I'm going to turn to Jaquise
What's up?
before we start leaving, and I'm going to give him kind of a look. And then I'm going to look towards the other guy, as Zophie. And then I'm going to turn towards the rest of the group.
So, I have, a couple more questions, if you don't mind, that I just thought of.
Yes.
Sure. We got time.
Do you mind if we inspect the device? Of course, we won't touch it, but I am
I haven't
kind of
stopped you so
curious.
far.
You are correct.
And I'm going to motion for Jaquise to follow. And I'm going to definitely play up my old man vibes, for sure, right now.
Your old man vibes.
So you're
Oh, yeah.
you're trying like specifically to put on an act of being even more decrepit than usual.
Yes.
Please roll a performance check.
Can I have advantage?
For being actually old.
Because you actually are old and you're just putting on the act of being enfeebled,
All right, let's
which
see here.
you probably have some pain to speak of in your bones to lend to that. So
Takes you
Oh, definitely
20
needed that advantage. I rolled a 2 on that starter. Okay, so 25 total.
Takes you 20 minutes to walk down 3 stairs.
yeah, all of a sudden, like right before all of your eyes, it seems like Oris like ages like another 100 years and is barely able to keep himself upright as he sort of like stumbles around the device on his staff. Click, 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 click.
Oh, my old
What
bones
is
weren't
wrong
just in
with
this.
I'm gonna DM bunny.
Oops.
Are you saying something to his character out loud?
No, I'm giving him like a definite look that he's seen.
Okay, I'll accept that. You guys have traveled together for a while.
Well, he did raise me.
He looks
Drax will sigh and just gonna walk over here and just lay down. So much stuff I don't understand.
Can't get any of the ore like that, buddy.
So this device is like
Tell
Do you
me,
step there?
honestly.
Hang on, Jackie's move back a step, please. Do you actually step there, Oris?
Oh, I would have
Is
been walking at
like right
his-
next to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, you would have been walking at the same time?
Yeah, like we walked
Okay,
down there
and you can
together.
stand next to him. Both of you please roll dexterity saving throws.
But of course I would
That is not
damage.
good. Give me a moment.
Ooh,
I got a
Oh.
15 total.
you need to calm down, dog. 15, okay.
16.
16, all right. So you both jump back a step. So here and here, as like these strange, like they look sort of like spears, but they're spear shaped like beams of energy like shoot up from those squares. And you're gonna take half of one. You're gonna
So
take one
one,
piercing
yeah.
damage, yeah. As the little blades of them just barely nip you as you jump back. And that's where we're gonna need to roll initiative.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, coward.
Let me tell you a story about liars and fools.
God.
Are we
I'd
the
be done
fools?
rolling on roll 20.
No, well, yes, but no.
Were we the liars?
We're neither, Kitpari.
Oh, look at that crit on initiative.
Yeah.
Okay, I swapped colors and didn't get a shitty roll on my second. The story holds
A
true.
super low initiative. I think this is just Oris's curse, as he goes last every combat.
You're old. Get over
I
it.
mean, you have a -1. Welcome to my world when I was playing
Yeah, I
fucking,
know.
yeah, my paladin.
At least it makes more sense for me instead of being a huge armor-clad paladin.
I mean, you were playing up your old, right? So
This
All
is
right,
True, you were.
Zimnus, your friends attempted to approach this man, and a hidden trap attempted to take their lives in exchange. It's your turn as we start off this maybe unexpected combat.
Okay.
I actually thought you guys were gonna walk out of here.
You know,
I was gonna leave
Yeah.
an illusion.
you had us in the first half.
That
And
could
I'm
be a phrase in this
still
world because of missile
willing
mayhem.
you
This is true.
to give you a chance.
You totally might say stuff like that because missile mayhem has halves.
Sports references are in. Yes.
So
Or a gold
I'm
point.
gonna be like, Thrak,
so
I know you're
kind
laying
of
down, but
yards.
get up, and I'm gonna just hold. I'm gonna hold just a destructive blast ray in case, if he actually does attack us.
Okay.
He
I'm
just
gonna give him
attacked
the
us.
chance.
No,
No,
he
no,
didn't.
no,
It
you
wasn't that a
stepped
trap?
on a trap. I'm giving him a chance. So if he does anything that, is aggressive, I'm hitting him with a ray, or I'm gonna try to at least.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn for now then?
Am I close enough? First off, I can't even see. I'm so blind at the moment.
You are within 7 tiles, or 8 tiles, which is like 40 feet.
Okay, so I will move forward. And 3 tiles and over 1. Alright.
All right. Okay. Well, as we roll around to the mage's turn, because you realize as he starts to summon energy to the hand opposite the one holding his sword that he does indeed work magic, and he's going to make his own destructive blast. Although his is an array, it's a projectile.
So he
And
lied to
that's
us.
for an 18 against Jacques your AC. Jacques, does an 18 hit you?
Yes.
All right. You take 4 points of fire damage as this little bolt of fire shoots from his left hand and impacts in your chest. Because,
Ah!
And
I
as he
gave you the
does that,
opportunity to leave.
as he does that,
Gallard.
mine triggers too. 24. Does that hit?
That absolutely hits.
Okay.
3,
You
4, 5,
savage.
6.
Do not remember what.
And he's gonna sprint away from the two of you.
How much was it?
Yes, and they've a beach.
It's 1d8, right? Yeah. And then it's wind, of course. So he has -1 AC.
Indeed.
Oh, wrong one. There we go. 1
Oh,
damage.
oh,
I'm
Damn.
sorry.
It was a warning shot.
It was determined to roll a 1.
For real.
oh.
That's
Oh
savage.
man.
All right. So you unleash your bolt of wind as you see him unleash his bolt of fire. Well, yours is a ray, so it's like this
Yes.
tunnel of wind that extends from your hand towards him. And it catches him, but you can see only just barely and doesn't do too much damage. As we roll around to Kedpari's turn.
I know exactly what I'm going to do. If I can find, here I am.
Wait,
Uh,
Kedpari
Oh.
goes before I do?
Yeah.
I'm super confused.
Didn't you roll a 9?
Rolled a
19?
19.
I got
You
advantage.
have
I-
advantage?
I
yeah,
Oh!
you
Yeah.
have advantage also.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I messed it up. Then it is Jacques. I didn't realize you had advantage. I thought you were just testing your new color. That's my
No,
bad.
I swapped colors and rolled my advantage roll.
I got you. I didn't realize that. That's totally my bad.
Where was the button?
It is Jacques' turn.
Okay, he's gonna whip out his longbow and shoot a barrage at that guy.
Did you get pizza, Doc?
No, not yet.
There's pizza out here if you're
Sweet.
hungry.
I'll
Oh.
definitely do that.
That's a miss.
You know, he's a mage. You don't know.
I don't think a 9 hits. So I'm going to. Alright, I'm gonna move in because I missed with my barrage and my longbow. And that is going to be my turn.
I took damage with that trap, didn't I?
1.
One.
Yes.
Okay, but I still need to roll a concentration check for Lise. So
all right.
Damn. Oh shit, I forgot to roll the second. Hold on, I'm supposed to roll twice for barrage, so one of the arrows actually does hit. And I apologize for being late on that. Is she even here though?
I think Pizza's a stronger.
Pizza's the stronger pull.
I bet I've had people throw League of Legends games because Pizza showed up.
Can you blame them?
No.
Food is
It's
great.
pizza. I haven't had a pizza in like at least 2 months.
Me too, but
Ate a Red Baron today.
It's,
I've been trying to diet, so every time I see a pizza, I cry a little.
On the inside and the
I was
outside.
muted. Yeah, so your second arrow manages to hit him, and you see it sink really deeply into his shoulder, and he winces in pain as he grabs up at it. And Kedpari, it's your turn.
Who's our hardest slapper?
Rack or Jaquise, I'd have to bet.
Thrak or Red Bear, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say those three. Yeah.
Thrak is. Oh, he did say he was laying down, so
He
Yeah.
is, yeah, actively laying down.
let me see something.
His brain got torched.
So one
Is
tile is
literally.
5 feet. Wait, why am I doing this? Not that. This maybe?
It's technically the same no matter what.
Wait, so that would be 6 tiles would be 30 feet, right?
Correct,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yes.
All right. So let me pull this back up. I would like to try this. So, if you didn't see, I posted that. I'd like to try the spell Puppet. He has to make a Constitution save, and if he fails, like a puppet on strings, I drag his movement speed in the direction I choose.
Ooh,
That's
he does
cool.
fail, yeah.
That's cool as fuck.
I like it.
And the direction that I choose is going to be 30 feet closer to our big guy.
And he's within range.
Oh, that's
Oh
cool.
man, could we have both gotten AOs? No, there's no way. I don't think it works that way.
Force
Technically,
movement doesn't trigger AOs.
Yeah, that's right. I just realized that.
And then I'm going to move 3 tiles forward and 2 tiles up. And that'll be the end of my turn. It's cool that they count the number of tiles that you move up and down.
Yes,
Alright.
it is very handy.
As we roll around to initiative 10, Oris, you notice one of the crystals on his console turns a bright red, and I'm gonna need everyone to roll a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
I'm good at
How
those.
about a wisdom saving throw?
Thrak, because you're prone, you automatically fail.
I got a 3.
I got a
You did
5.
get a 3. You did get a 5?
I roll shit.
I got a 16.
Why couldn't I
Okay.
roll this to save my boys?
So, as the crystal turns red, like beams of blue energy sort of shoot out between the various spaces in the liquid metal as it flows around itself. And you're each targeted with one, taking 7 points of damage. Just call it damage. If you failed, and 3 if you passed.
Oh, 3 if you passed.
Uh-huh.
We didn't have a short rest since the last time we fought the golem, did we?
No.
No.
Then I am at flat 0.
Yeah,
And
we're
Ari
pretty
falls to
rough.
the ground unconscious. He seems like he's already hurting quite a bit too, if it makes anyone feel any better.
No, it
Oh
doesn't.
wait, hold
I'm
on.
kidding.
I was 20 feet in the air. Do I
Don't
take
worry about it.
Okay.
No. I'm not
No,
that
take it.
vicious.
Take it.
Murder dong.
It would just be 2 failed death saves. I mean, if you want your fairy gone that fast, I guess.
I don't.
Play by the rules.
Fairies float. They don't fall.
It
They
clearly
float.
says here in the book on page 19.
Even small creatures are affected by gravity.
So
The same.
Thrak,
If you drop an egg in a bowling ball, they will fall at the same rate.
Oh my god. All right, Dexter, sit back.
Dexter kills people.
All right,
moving that
I'll
theory.
spend half of my movement to stand up,
Man, dark.
You will.
and then I will essentially move the 5, 10, 15,
Mm-hmm.
and try to whack them all.
Do you guys also know that there's a rule that says diagonal movement costs more? You want me to start playing with that one too?
Yes, I did not know about
It's
that
like
rule.
5,
That was
15, 20, 30 or something like that.
Yeah, it gets really
I
stupid.
did not even know
Well,
that.
we can really slow the game down.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Everybody just running in L
20.
form.
That absolutely hits. Roll damage. 9.
Crack his
Good
head off!
shot. So you run up and just smash your hammer into his rib cage, and you hear the air like forcefully expelled from his lungs as you do, and he just grabs his side and like doubles over.
This
Get
I
fucked.
do know, though.
Oris, you're up.
Oh.
Edpari is down.
Yeah, Oris is going to.
There isn't a lot of danger for my character, though. I am down, but I'm at flat 0, so I'm only unconscious.
Don't you have well, never mind.
Didn't you fall 20 feet?
The powers that be said
Not
that
off you.
didn't matter.
I run up a lot more spry than I was acting a few seconds ago. And I will drop a 1d4.
Boom.
Give me just a second. I'll
What
roll
kind of action
that.
did we say that was? It was a bonus action to do that, right? Or is it an action?
That's up to you because I still don't know. I know it has to be combat.
We'll call it a bonus action.
Okay. But yeah, so
Um,
1 HP plus 2,
Your
so
wisdom
3
level.
HP.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back up to
Edpari,
3
you
again.
as you come
And
back to proper consciousness.
I look towards Lise and then I point towards Sophie and I'm like, smite that asshole! And that'll be the end of my turn, but since I gave Lise the command,
she will do as she was told.
and smite that asshole. Give me a moment. 11. I don't hold a lot of hope for that, but maybe.
That does not hit. No, unfortunately not.
So yeah,
Anything else?
like a lance of silver light basically tries to hit him, but that is not exactly kosher.
No,
So
manages to duck out of the way because he was already bent over from getting smashed in the ribs by an actual hammer.
fair enough. No, she doesn't have any special actions yet.
Okay.
So
In that case, we roll back around to the top of the order with Zimnis.
Oh. Looks like it's up to me again to end this. So I'm gonna run up and ray him again, because I think it's becoming my signature. Jazz hands. It's a melee attack since I'm within melee range. I can make it
Yep,
as a
destructive
ranged or
blast
melee.
is cool like that.
melee touch attack.
So fun to imagine this little person just running in destruction.
Yeah. And it's an 11, so it
That
probably
does
doesn't
not
hit.
hit.
And then I'll use my bonus action to take a melee swing, which is not going to hit either. No, 16. Is he going to shield?
That does hit actually.
Oh,
Because the -1 lasts until your turn's over, right?
yes.
Yeah, so
And
that
he
does
won't
hit.
have it next turn, yeah. So as I'm dashing in, I'll flip and do a quick slash for 7.
Oof. Yeah, you can see this man, whoever he is very hurt now. From your slashes and the arrow from Jacques and the hammer from Thrak, he's already very, very hurt. As we roll around to his turn, and he's going to look between the two of you, sort of surrounding him, knowing he can't really get away without risking an attack. You see him like punch towards the ground, and that same energy he made before expands outward. And I'm going to need Thrak and Zimnis to roll dexterity saving throws, please. I'm loving those dexterity saving throws today.
You're picking on the old.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously Zimnis, you pass. Thrak, unfortunately, you fail. So Zimnis, you take 4. Thrak, you take 8 fire damage.
Thrak is down.
as the energy, like his fist hits the ground and the energy just expands outward from him, from the center of him.
Big guy, no.
Jacques, it's your turn.
Nah, the ogre is down. Sorry, I'm just gonna move over to the edge.
Ogre.
Obliquely. I don't think that he's in the way. Like, if I'm right behind him anyway, but I'm still gonna go get line of sight and do a barrage.
No, they took those rules out of the game. You don't have to worry about that crap anymore
Yeah,
unless you really
you're
fuck up.
heroes. Like
I'm
you're
also
fine.
small too. Yeah.
Fair enough. So 22 and 21.
Yeah, both of those hit soundly.
So it is 13
13.
damage.
Indeed. As both your arrows like sink into his back, you can tell like he's breathing like you've punctured a lung, and he's barely keeping it together. As a reaction to his HP dropping well below safety, you all watch as he sort of like bites down with just the back of his jaw, and Zimnus, you hear a small click. And then the device, the big orb, starts to glow very brightly, and there's a bright glow at the man's feet that starts to consume his body. And he turns to face all of you and says, "The Eratoman will have your world. It was ours to begin with." And then the energy consumes him, and he's gone. And it does the same to the device, completely destroying whatever was there.
Or it's just kind of like watches the destruction and is like, well, shit.
What the coward.
I'm not really worried about that part. I'm worried about all of our evidence disappearing.
Thrak is unconscious.
Right.
It feels like the magic spark that usually happens during the adrenaline rush fade and kind of just like,
I can't help at the moment.
Jaquise immediately rushes over to draw on his face.
Oh my god.
What? While he's drawing on
Stabilize
his
him
face.
first, you dipshit.
I
runs over and smacks Jaquise.
Jaquise.
Roll a medicine check. Give me a moment.
Can anyone just stabilize, or do you have to?
Yeah,
be
you just need a 10 on a medicine check to stabilize.
14.
There you go. So he is no longer in danger of dying.
And the other looks like a cat.
Well, you get to
Oh.
be the one to carry him, Jaquise, so have fun with that.
He is a big man. He can walk on his own.
Do you have a healing potion? I
I
don't.
assume we're gonna take a short rest. We all need it.
Yeah, you've got a couple days walking back up the cave. You could take a long rest here if you wanted to.
Can we check?
You can
Well,
also level up to level 3.
Before I do any leveling up, is there anything
Like,
anything
is
left of
his
the device?
bed or the containers that
Yeah.
you mentioned? Did any of
The
that?
containers are still here. His
Okay, we got
stuff
that
in the
still.
back, where there was like the fancy bedroll and the metal boxes and the little, like, it looked sort of like a fireplace, but it was like a device.
Or
That
is
stuff
gonna
is
go
still
check
there.
that out for sure then. Before taking a rest.
Jaquise, let's throw this guy on the bed for now. He's gonna take a nap probably for a while.
Yeah, so go ahead and
is
roll an
a
investigation check to
plan.
search through the stuff.
11.
Okay. You're not really sure how to get the boxes open. There doesn't seem to be like a switch you can see or any kind of like handle or hinges. You do determine that the device that looks sort of like a campfire is like somehow an automatic campfire. There's like a little switch you can step on, and it starts to like shoot out some flame. It only lasts for like a split second, but it would be plenty to light like wood or roots or whatever you were using as fuel.
Oris is taking this. But yeah, we'll set up a camp and level up for the third levels.
Indeed.
I must go to my encounter.
Oh, guys, we might want to be a little more less trusting, maybe. Next time we meet a crazy man in a cave with a
Look,
giant
I don't know what you were
metal
thinking,
orb.
but I never really trusted the guy anyways, so...
He seemed all right to me.
I mean, who spends 27 years shutting off one device?
Is every
A
fight
very
gonna end up with?
dedicated person.
I immediately smelled the bullshit.
Sure.
Like, Oris gives him a look, but does not call him on his bullshit.
Sure you did, buddy.
Is every
Nothing
fight gonna end
special.
up with me on the ground?
Let's
I
hope
mean-
not. Kitpari, let's hope not.
Thrak went with you this time.
Yeah. At least you, get to
keep rolling
stand
twos
back
on that
up.
hit die though, and yeah, it might just end up that way every time.
I get. Yay.
So I assume you all sort of go ahead and take a long rest here, and then you
Yes.
start making your
Yes.
way. Do you head specifically for the Kobold Caverns first to talk to Evo?
Ebo should know about the threat to his home for sure, yeah.
I mean,
I
threat's
feel
kinda
like
gone now.
we like Ebo. Ebo's done nothing wrong to us. I still want to help Ebo help his people evolve and learn and become, one of the respected sentient races on the world of Golumnroot. So I'm down for it. It sounds like a very noble goal for a single kobold to take on, so I'll help him out.
Sure, absolutely. So after your long rest, it takes you about half a day to make your way back to the area where you first met the goblins. And then, as before, another hour or so of sort of crawling your way through tunnels that are now somewhat familiar to you. You almost get lost once, but you manage to find your way through it eventually. And find yourselves back here.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, it's such a huge fucking spell point sink, though.
The cool ones always are, man.
Well, it's like literally like the best of my talents called potent illusions. It's what allow my illusions to start doing psychic damage. And if I pump even more spell points into it, I can deafen, blind people, make them be poisoned, frightened, charmed.
That's pretty wild.
But doing each one of those effects costs like 3 spell points, 1 spell point, 2 spell points.
Gotta balance it somehow.
I know. It's so strong.
I want it, but I only have 8 spell points at the moment, and doing one of potent illusions would drain half of my potential in a single blow.
Fair. I think you only have about like 3 or 4 spell slots at level 3.
It must be so bad.
Okay, Warlock. Eldritch Blast all day.
Eldritch Blast, Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, but to be fair, I do get my spells back a lot faster than he does.
Yeah, you actually get spells back on a short rest, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what? I think I might go with a glamour talent. We haven't done much social stuff yet, but I don't have a glamour talent.
It could certainly be useful though. Glamoring clothing for the right situation.
Well, and because I possess the greater illusions, I can give someone a disguise that like even has like the tactile component to their outfit.
Nice.
Like someone would feel like, for example, someone would feel the top, a hat on top of your head, but as soon as you turn up, it wouldn't work. Or we could give some utility to the summons.
Oh, no. I really like this map.
Um, I've always wondered that. How does that work?
Okay.
Because they don't have spell points for themselves. So would I have to spend spell points for them to do those actions?
If the actions cost spell points and they don't have spell points,
Well,
you can assume it's your spell points.
they gain a casting tradition when I give them.
Interesting. I might have to do some more research on that and figure out exactly how that works.
Yeah, like I want to give Lise the healing sphere, and she gains the natural casting tradition, which basically means that her key ability is charisma, or my key ability. She gains 2 magic talents, but doesn't gain anything else, essentially.
Hmm.
But people who get a casting tradition get spell points, right? Or is
I
that a thing on the
don't know if that's how
classes
it
too?
works. They have to have the casting feature to gain spell points.
Your companion uses your levels and proficiency bonus when determining the strength of its fierce fasting. Your companion cannot require advanced. So I can give them extra spell points. But how? Because if I take the talent twice, they get an extra mileage talent or extra spell point fee. Which means that they can hold spell points, presumably, for themselves. The only question is
How
how
often do they
much.
gain hit dice?
They gain hit dice. Let me go up to my Celestial. Its hit dice equals the Constitution modifier plus 5 times my level. So every time I level, they gain a hit dice.
Every
Essentially.
time you level, they gain 5 hit dice. Because you said it's 5 times your level, right? Or is
Yeah.
that their hit point pool?
That's their hit point pool, so you can
Okay,
assume
so
that
yeah,
every
like
time
every
I
time.
level, they gain a
Okay.
hit die.
Then go ahead and just use the same spell point formula for them as you, but use
Oh,
their hit dice in place of casting levels.
okay. Well, they use my casting level for that, so just the same, I guess. Because they use
Yeah.
your levels and proficiency bonus when determining the strength of its sphere casting, it says.
Yeah, but isn't your spell pool total determined by your key ability modifier? 1 second, sweetie. Yeah, so it's your
Equal
key
to my.
ability modifier is part of it. Yeah.
Right,
So
yes.
their key ability modifier will affect their spell pool.
Okay. Feminine. So there's. All right, so yeah, we'll go ahead and give Lise the healing sphere because we need a healer, like a legit one. Not my pitiful 1d4 during only combat.
That means I can make everybody stronger. Yay!
So let's do that. I will update Lisa's sheet. Meanwhile, you all can talk to Evo. because I'm sure everyone else is done a lot faster than I am at the moment.
I am nowhere near.
I'm almost done.
I get like 2 spear talents, so this is taking a little longer.
I just got a lot of spells.
I have to level up 2 people.
Yeah. Hold up.
I will keep. So her spell pool based off of her thing would be wisdom. So
You
it would
thought
be
1 was bad.
3+ levels, so 6 for her. Alright, so life sphere.
Let me see something.
Oh, I see you would make that. Got it. Right. Close. Fuck. No, what is the school of healing in magic terms? Is it abjuration? I always forget.
Life.
Well, like no, like in the magical schools, like abjuration, conjuration, divination.
Healing is divine magic.
If it's got to have a name, I think healing magic in the game is considered evocation. I don't know why.
Interesting.
Yeah, like what school of magic does it belong to, quote unquote?
Oh yeah, I was thinking of the wrong thing. Sorry. It's evocation, which is pretty weird.
That is
'Cause
weird. Okay.
that's the same fucking school as Fireball.
Fireball and healing ball all come from the same school.
Yeah, that's kind of weird that lightning bolt and healing word come from the same school of magic.
I should be done now. I
Excellent.
chose the Pact of the Chains so I can summon a sprite.
Oh, nice.
Now, question: this sprite is technically made up of it's a spirit that takes the form that I choose. So this wouldn't be anybody that I know, right?
Not unless you chose it to be someone you know.
I do know a sprite.
It could be the sprite you know then. It wouldn't be actually them. It would be a spirit that took on their shape.
I don't know if that's depressing or not.
Are they dead?
No, but I mean, you remember how in Naruto he'd summon clones to play cards with himself because he was lonely?
No.
That is a
That's
little sad.
yeah. So I mean, summoning my friends to hang out with me because they're not around.
They might find it endearing.
Okay, I finished leveling up. I'll be back. I have to use the bathroom.
Excellent. Yeah, feel free. Go ahead and since we're already sort of in a break mode, if you need to
Like-
use the bathroom or grab a drink or anything.
All right, right back.
No. Hmm. I can make it a pseudo dragon. I might do that instead.
Pseudo dragons are cool. Mm. You know. All right. I need a decision from the group.
Mhm.
So there's and her healing sphere. They are adrenaline surge, so she can spend an additional spell point when she uses a life sphere ability on an ally to give them an adrenaline surge, allowing them to do one of the following as a reaction: make a single weapon attack, move up to its speed, make a dexterity check to escape bonds, grapples, or other restraints, draw, pick up, or ready a weapon or shield, or stand up from prone. So that could be really awesome, and also very clutch in some ways. The second one is Contagion. You can spend an additional spell point when you restore a creature. You can immediately attempt to inflict the conditions you just removed on another living creature within range of your restore ability.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I'm not poisoned. You're poisoned.
Exactly, pretty much. The creature must succeed on a Constitution save against my sphere DC, or they receive all the conditions you just restored, which is cool. The last one is really clutch, but it's also super expensive, but it makes sense. It's called Resuscitate. Your Invigorate ability functions on creatures that have died within no more than one round, bringing them back to life. Coming back is an ordeal. The target's exhaustion level increases by 1 to a maximum of 5, and cannot be reduced by exhaustion level 1 by any means until completing a long rest. This ability does require an intact body mostly to function.
See.
Jeez.
And I can spend even more spell points to have that function with anyone who have died within the last minute.
Does it require any like components?
No,
So you can just cast revive on somebody for free. Well, I mean,
as
not for
long as I
free,
have the
but
spell points. Yes.
It's
It come
Revivify. It's not Revive.
yeah. But
And it would be a few levels before you would normally get access to Revivify. That's true. But doesn't that cost like 2 total spell points, or is it 3 for
It's 2
Invigorate?
total spell points for 1 round, 3 total spell points for the last minute.
and how many spell points do you have overall?
Lise has access to 6 spell points currently.
Okay, so you have to.
It's half her spell pool.
Jeez, that sounds like it. That sounds like it requires a lot.
Yeah, I maybe want to hold off on that ability till a little later, but at the same time, like our chances of dying are the highest at these levels.
Well, if I die, you don't need to worry about it. Being a fairy, if I die, my body and soul are immediately teleported back to the Feywild, so you wouldn't even be able to revive me.
I suppose there is a combo that I also want to do, but I think I might save it for later.
Oh,
So
and Ryu, now that you're back, I'm sorry to interrupt you,
Yep.
Doc. I didn't see your message before. If you wanted to stream it and weren't, you're welcome to, as far as I'm aware. So
Oh, okay.
I don't think anybody else is against it.
I think I'm going to do with Adrenaline Surge.
It didn't seem like anyone was. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, good to double check. I'm just letting you know that I just didn't see it earlier.
All good.
Is everybody back?
I'm here.
Yes. I just need to roll Oris's hit dice.
I think we're just waiting on Bunny then.
Ooh, gross. Okay. Well,
Well, I think you were allowed to take the average if you rolled a 1.
yes.
The average -1. I
Since
rolled
do
a 2,
not
so
gain a lot of HP, so. I am still a weak boy.
You are an old man. I mean, it
This
kind
is
of
true.
makes sense.
This is true.
Oh crap! I gotta do
I
that.
mean, if somebody pushes you over, you break 11 hips.
You're so frail, you break other people's hips when you fall down.
I
Yeah, baby, I'll turn the
believe
TV.
that's all I have to do for this level. Huzzah, huzzah.
All right. Everybody back? Everybody leveled up?
Yep.
You're going to continue. I just saw my last.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, but you guys can go ahead and continue on without me.
Don't worry.
All right. Well, you find yourselves back in the caves of the kobolds that you met before. And yeah, here you are. They still mill about as they did, although they don't sort of react to you this time like they did before. You can tell that saving their village from what they saw as a very large threat has engendered you with some trust.
I'm gonna head over and see if they've started planting their mushrooms in circles.
You can fly all throughout the caves if you would like. You will not find any planted in circles.
Oh,
You tried.
It has been about a day, so even if they had, you wouldn't see the mushrooms yet.
right. Time to go to different music. There we go.
And I'm not opposed to playing music during the session either. There was another one that I just didn't see earlier. I haven't found tracks that I like for this specific campaign, so I just haven't.
I've just been listening to a lot of Feywild music. Or what people assume Feywild music sounds like.
I
You go into
imagine.
the little cabin, Thrak, or you wait outside?
Well, yeah. He's gonna start making his way that way and be like, I imagine we need to talk to uh Ebo to find maybe some more information.
I think this time around we wanted to be the ones given the information. Just let them know the threat's gone, but that doesn't mean much. Cause it could. I mean, could it come back? I mean,
That is true.
we did kill the golem. We'll at least get paid.
Well, let's go tell him that then. Then Thrak will go to cabin.
You find him at his desk again, but he looks up and says, "Oh, Thrak, it's good to see you, friend.
Ah, yes. You too, Ebo.
Where's the rest of your group?"
Thrak will
They're around.
do
I'd be right
wait.
behind.
They're behind me. I know. I'm so large it's hard to see them.
He chuckles.
Uh,
Zemnis,
well,
welcome.
Sorry.
thank you. We're just. Big thing is we took care of the golem. There's just a bigger problem. I don't know how to really explain.
Was
Please
just about to say wonderful news.
don't make Thrak's brain hurt anymore.
You discovered something then when you defeated the golem?
Yeah, a man with antennae, and he tried to convince us of one thing, but wherever Oris went, he saw right through it. I think.
I see.
What about you, Jackie? You said you seen it the whole time, right?
But of course I did. I knew that there was no chance. 27 years. He spits on the ground. There is no possible way.
27 years. What?
Oh man. You
What
gonna
happened?
explain
I
it?
mean, tell me about it. Yes.
Take it from here, Semnis. Go into detail.
Was that common?
I think what they're trying to say is that there was a man named Zophie who was messing with the device beyond the golem. We discovered he was lying about trying to turn it off. And he got a little touchy when we got close, and then got very angry and tried to kill us.
As we all hear like a whisper off in the distance because he's nowhere near us.
Yeah, and then starting to come closer.
He's like, he's ducking to himself again.
Anyways, he killed himself, or I'm pretty sure that's what he did,
I think it
and
worked
destroyed
great.
him and the device. with it, which is unfortunate. Anyways, do you know what the Eratomen are?
No, I've never heard that name before.
Mm, Well, they do present a danger to you. The golems are gone, however, and that won't be a problem, but I do recommend, I don't know, investing in some defenses or something.
I see. We'll do what we can. It's usually quite difficult for most to even find their way here, but I suppose we could set up some
Yes.
traps over the entryways.
Right, speaking of entryways and all of that, we will find the help that you requested, but we do need to go up to the surface and report all of this promptly.
Of course, of course. I don't expect miracles to happen overnight.
Right. So, is there any other oddities that you've seen down here that I should be reporting, or is that it?
Uh, I'm led to believe Monaculite is new to this area, but otherwise, no, it
That's
is
another
generally
thing.
as the underground should be.
Right, okay.
So the meteor didn't bring it?
We'll discuss that later.
Oh, okay.
Right now, we need to go. Ebo, you have a lovely home and lovely people. I hope that we can help them, but we gotta run.
And so he thanks you again and bids you farewell. You're gonna make your way back to the surface then?
Yeah, unless anyone else has any ideas or questions or anything like that they want to do down here.
Nope.
I do not.
Neither
All right.
do I.
Then let us roll. Thrax still trying to get his mind untangled.
Yes.
All right. So it takes another day or so for you to make your way back up to the entrance of the tunnel, but it's again a pretty peaceful walk. You don't notice any really other underground creatures making their way through the main tunnel. But sure enough, you find yourselves crawling back through the mound. It's a little wider this time. It's easier to fit through. So clearly, your employer hasn't been completely idle while you were gone. But you find her, Nusalin, just sort of relaxing in a tent.
Must be nice.
Indeed.
For sure.
Oh, back are ya? Well, how'd it go?
There were no toadstools in that cave.
I
We
don't
didn't
remember
find a
telling
lily
you those
pad
things.
large enough for you either.
Yeah.
Why would there be lily pads down here? No, with the creature.
How everything went
We want the
exactly
good
as we
news
expected.
or the bad news.
I mean, I prefer the good news.
Ah, well then your golem's dead, crushed, destroyed, turned into mash.
Well, that's fantastic.
It
What are
does
you gonna
not
say
function
that's
anymore.
gonna dash me good news though? There's more. You
There
mentioned.
may be a potential that you are standing on top of a extra-dimensional incursion site.
I'm
The way
sorry.
you say that,
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna sound real crazy at the moment, so let me sit down and tell you a story, shall I?
Sure. And you
Oh
you sit down
no,
and explain
not
it. Do you have
another
any
story.
specific words you want to say?
Thrax is going into a tent and not watching.
He's gonna like, no, not again, not
Because I won't
again.
make you retell the story to people over and over again. You don't have to worry about that.
But I think what I do want to emphasize is like the alien nature of Zophie.
Uh-huh.
The device itself in like all of its intricacies and weirdness. And then also the weird
tentacle wolves.
spherical orb thing.
Huh. And you say you found it all behind the golem there, down at the very, very bottom.
Yes, and I very much do not recommend messing with it. It did well, a dude told it to vaporize itself in the device. Anyways, but I do think it's somewhat dangerous. I believed him on that point.
Was there anything left? Like, is there anything we can show somebody?
No.
His
I mean,
belongings he left. That's about
right.
it.
Yeah, we have his alien belongings.
Did we take any of that with us? I would have asked someone to take a crate at least.
I mean, I
mean,
guess Thrak would have been the only one able to carry that.
I mean, if we took a long rest, I didn't roll a D100 actually to see if Jacques would have turned during the long rest.
You would have taken 2 by now.
It's a weird time to change, so I'll try not to miss the next one.
You could have if you wanted to. They weren't like crazy heavy.
Just
And
like
yeah, we
what?
can say that fairly easily Thrak would have been able to carry one of them back up without making himself uncomfortable.
And so, like, I just point towards the weird box that Thrak put down.
She comes over and like inspects it and is looking at it for quite a little while actually. Oh shit, he crit. And she goes, "Oh, what's this here?" And she pushes in like center bottom of the front. And when you first inspected, you couldn't see any kind of seam or anything there. She found a button and presses it, and the container opens.
Actually says push me right above it.
Oh, that's
He
how
rolled an
that
11, not a 1. Jeez.
works.
She fucking literally rolled a natural 20 on her investigation check, so obviously she figured it out.
Gonna shuffle over
Hang
and
on
see
just a
what's
second.
inside.
Oh, it's like there's stuff.
Like how Thrak's interested now. Oh, stuff. Let's
Thanks,
go.
big guy.
Let's go look.
But I love material possessions.
So inside are 50 gold coins.
Holy shit.
Dibs.
Split that
Something
evenly.
that looks sort of like a metal crossbow, but with no like bow arms for whatever reason. And five little hexagons that are made out of a similar material to the pipes that are no longer there in the tunnels.
Okay,
Oh.
I'm genuinely interested in this crossbow. Does anybody else?
The metal hexagons I'm more interested in. I split the gold between everyone. Everyone gets 10 gold pieces.
I am not
But I'm more interested
in
in
the
the metals.
Okay.
Thrak doesn't
Roll me an
use a
investigation
bow.
check.
I will hold it up to Thrak and hopefully get his assistance.
Does this look like the same metal those pipes are made out of?
Yeah,
It doesn't look like metal to you,
Similar.
Thrak.
Oh,
It's a
okay,
similar
metal.
material for
Similar
sure. But
material,
they never
yeah.
looked like metal.
Critical investigation. Oh.
Okay, so you immediately find the button on this one. It's right in the center on top of the little hexagon. And when you press it in, it opens up into a plate, and there's a ready-made meal, like meat, or proteins, rice, whatever you might imagine would be in just like a home-cooked dinner,
Whoa.
right in front of you.
That is.
Can I have that?
Yeah, I'll hand it over.
So much food. How could anyone eat all that?
Oh, I'll show you, little one.
Pick up. How many are there?
There's 4 left now.
Right. You said there were 5. Right. I'm gonna keep all of them.
Fair enough. So did anybody else want the crossbow, or did it go to Jacques?
I don't see my character using weapons. I have a mini crossbow, or a light crossbow, but I don't actually see myself ever using that.
Oris never has nor will have any interest in weaponry, so
Yeah, Drac has no interest.
Okay. So quite like a crossbow, it has a trigger. But again, unlike a crossbow, there's no bow arms or string. There's not even a ridge on top for like a bolt of some kind to sit in.
So what does it look like?
If I'm describing it to you, Bunny, it looks like a plastic pistol.
Plastic pistol.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Got a Nerf
So
gun, bro.
is there any like separate chambers to it? Obviously,
No,
like
it doesn't seem to have an action.
Hmm.
Like a modern firearm does.
and it has a trigger.
It does, yes.
I point at a wall and pull the trigger.
Okay, roll a ranged attack without your proficiency bonus.
so just raw dexterity.
Uh-huh.
Oops.
Awesome. So it's not exactly where you were aiming, but pretty close to where you felt like you were aiming this device. You pull the trigger and watch as a blue bolt shoots out the front of it and then collides into the wall and leaves like a dark burn mark on it.
Whoa!
Oh,
What
dangerous.
was that?
Sacre bleu! Zutalo, what is this? And he's like very excited about it now.
That seems dangerous.
Yeah, let's take that outside before you start
Oh.
firing that more, perhaps.
But of course.
I'll just go pulling the trigger.
Anyways, we found these items and that man. I unfortunately don't have more evidence than that. But I do plan on going talking to the authorities, because, well, someone needs to know.
Well, sorry, I was eating. I do hope you find someone who can listen. They sure have enough problems going on. It's hard to get anything in front of them if you don't have some kind of proof.
We'll see what we can do. But it might take a while, so that apartment will very much be needed. And if I
Aye.
may not be too rude, our payment would be great as well.
Oh, no, of course. And she hands each of you 15 platinum pieces.
Not Electrum, right?
Fucking no. Don't do this to me.
Wait, we're not using Electrum? I have to change
my God.
everything.
All right.
Isn't that what we went into the mine to get?
No.
Jacques, but not Red Bear, goes down a level. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no!
Didn't keep up with that, motherfucker. No, I'm just
I guess it's my turn.
How many? We're like a day from get the city, right? It's not that far to
3
mine.
days.
3 days. That's right.
Yeah. You're actually not very far from the river on the edge of Tovin Kalen.
Right. Okay. So we need to get back to Gellenhide, get set up in our apartment, go talk to the authorities.
Sounds
And
like a
also-
solid plan.
Well,
Let us get them move on.
I guess while we're on our way, there's no like small villages or anything like that in between here and there, is there?
No. No, not on
Okay.
this side. It's just not good growing land, so there's no way for anybody to farm.
Fair
If
enough.
you were closer to the coast, you might find small fishing villages.
I was just hoping to ask around about like more if anyone knew where like any other sites where like the flames fell.
That's fair.
But If no one's around with that ready information, would I know of any potential sites in the nearby area? Other than the one that's being mined currently that I know of?
You were drunk that day.
That is fair. That was canon. I said that.
un-
You were correct.
un-
Absolutely.
Unless you did like a bunch of research into it afterwards, no.
It was a curiosity and all of that, and I really haven't gotten the chance to. But now that I know might be, harboring an extra dimensional incursion, probably want to check those out, maybe. Anyways. So off to see the wizard and our house.
We could try Nooslin. If she knows any closer or any sites.
I suppose we could ask Nusilum before we leave. Or is she coming with us back to the city?
I mean, yeah, she's going back to the city. She has to collect her workers and get them back in the mines. So she's on her way back to the city.
We'll ask
Okay.
her on the way.
Well, then we'll travel with her, and then while we're on our way, I'll just be like,
Uselin, I know that this is, like a great find for you and all of that, but do you know of any other potential locations of where the flames fell?
Let me find the right notes, because I have it written down. She does have some information. It wouldn't be in that drive. That's stupid. Let me see. Yes. So, now that she considers it, there are 2 new monaculite caves in Hyrule that were discovered recently in areas where caves were not originally believed to exist. And she has a cousin, Rotgus Freewind, who's a section chief in one of those mines that could get you access to it.
so.
Suggest me. The monaculite, that is the actual meteor that crashed. I feel.
It's entirely possible.
We never saw the wolf on the way back.
That is a great point.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. That wolf.
Well,
like
you
me.
threw one of their babies like a boomerang. Maybe they thought better and decided to stay away.
Very wise.
You did walk by, but no, I did not give you an opportunity to murder the puppies as they cowered behind the unconscious body of their mother.
Poor thing, still unconscious.
It was a sad scene, and you were all moved to not hurt them further.
I don't think my character would be like that.
I think your character got a divine kick in the ass and was like that one time.
Usulin's cousin's name was what again?
Rotgus Freewind.
Rotgus Freewind.
And she
Section
also
chief.
knows of a water ganassi in Dora Mill named Douse Swiftmind that has been working in a newly discovered monaculite mine in that region.
All
1
right.
second.
What was the last name of Dalf?
Dow Swiftmind.
Dalf Swift.
Which are on the opposite sides of the fucking world, but okay.
Looks like we're gonna be doing a show of traveling. We just got an apartment too.
We're definitely gonna need probably evidence.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's a pretty hard story to believe. I mean, we can at least give the message and be like,
Yeah, I know. When I was hearing myself tell the story back there, I sounded fucking insane.
To be fair, yeah, I is insane, man.
And I guess to be fair on my part, I didn't listen.
To be fair, you never listen.
Can you all see this map, or do I have to put your tokens down for you to be able to see?
I am
Yes, I
currently
know.
looking
I
at my
see it.
roll 20, but I'm yes, I see it now.
Yeah, I see a map.
Gillenhade Overworld.
Yeah, it's the overworld for Gellenhide. I don't have a specific building made for your apartment because while it will last you a month, that's still pretty temporary. If we do ever get to a point where you guys have like a permanent like home base, I will make that and we'll use that for these in between times instead of this is not my best work here, but you know, it works for now. So towards the north is the main castle, which is set up against the World Tree. And then just to the south west of that is a stone building that houses the paladins. Your apartments are in the residential district, not very far from where it breaks away from the old residential district of like the shitty shanty town that nobody wants to be in. You're on the east side is the residential district.
Came up on the east side, guys.
How tall is this world tree?
No one knows.
All right.
His
But as something I may not have explained, I can't remember. I thought I had. The sun hangs from the world tree and rotates around it. So night and day is created by the sun passing to the other side of the world tree rather than going around a sphere.
Pretty cool.
And the moon is actually it's the view of the sun through the top of the world tree. Nobody knows like why it makes it look that way because nobody's ever been able to get that high. But yeah.
All right. Well, shit.
All right, well, get back to the city, get set up on our apartment. We probably won't be staying here from what I'm hearing. I
I mean, a month
suppose.
is a lot of time. You could spend a lot of time in Gellenhide. There were other jobs on the their like job board in the market if you're interested in that, or you can head straight to the Paladins and try and report this, or try and get an audience at the castle.
Yeah, because we kind of agreed that we can't do anything about it.
not as what we are right now.
Besides, assume that each person in one is an enemy and just try to kill them.
We don't
Well,
exactly
all
have
right.
evidence.
Let's report it to the Paladins then to start and see where that gets us.
Okay, so this is another map that I didn't think to make was the Paladins HQ, but you come up to a very tall, very like bland, just stone building. It hasn't been painted. There's no special stone used here. It's very ordinary. The door is guarded by two paladins in white and gold armor. It's not a like form-fitting suit of armor, so you're not sure like what gender they might be beneath them, and they wear full helmets, so you can't see their faces. Each one has a morning star strapped to their hip and a shield on one arm. And you can see as you approach that there are several more guards that patrol the roof of the building in the same sort of uniform armor.
Okay. All right. Walk up to the two guards standing at the front.
One of them takes a step forward very mechanically, like they've practiced doing it a lot, and says, "Hail, citizen."
Hail, fair defender. Might I have a word?
What do you need to say?
I would like to report a very serious incident.
I see. What kind of incident?
He like
Yeah.
actually sighs.
And tells the story again in full.
Yeah,
I need you to.
Yeah.
like before he even starts, he's like,
I have a question.
Okay.
Do you perhaps know like a truth spell or anything like that?
It's not one I'm capable of, but there are those among us who can cast it, yes.
Would you perhaps find someone to cast it on me so you know the veracity of my claims?
That seems a bit extreme.
It's an extreme claim, so yes, I would like to take extreme measures.
I see. He takes a step back and then approaches the other guard, and they talk quietly for a moment, and then the other guard makes their way inside, and a few minutes later, they come back with someone else that you can see is a blonde-haired man, because he's not wearing a helmet, and his armor is more gold than white, where theirs is like white with gold trim, his is gold with white trim, clearly marking him as some kind of officer among their ranks. And he says, I understand you have some outlandish claims and wish us to magically ensure their authenticity.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
I see. So you'll fully submit to the spell then. I won't have to worry about.
Nope, you can go ahead.
Right.
Horse is so
you
smart.
you see him grab like an amulet around his neck, and he mutters a short prayer, and you feel this wave wash over you, and it hits all of you. You're welcome to roll a wisdom saving throw if you'd like to resist the zone of truth. Keep in mind, this is probably common knowledge. Someone who casts this spell is aware if you resist it.
I am. I don't
God.
lie anyway, so
Get
probably
wrecked.
not going to resist it.
I'm
You
not
definitely
resisting it.
resist, Jacques, and the man eyes you strangely. When you sort of just shrug the magic off. Oops.
Did someone open their window?
I got it too.
But he pretty quickly looks back to Oris, since Oris is the one who came to speak, and says, "All right then, out with your claims."
Would you
And then
mind if I cast some magic, just some illusions as a visual prop?
I believe the three of us could handle any hostilities you might have, so cast
I'm
away.
sure you could.
And I will go ahead and use greater illusions to better tell the story and like basically like draw them into the room with us.
No.
Sure.
No.
They're definitely enraptured. You're
Poor
a
Jack.
great storyteller as always, Oris.
You want me to make a performance check?
Crack takes one.
Yeah, go ahead. Make a performance check.
16. It's not terrible.
Yeah. So it's not the best story you've ever told, and they're not the best illusions you've ever woven. But they do seem fairly enthralled by your telling. And it's always cool to be able to see like a story happen in front of you. So they're all sort of like clapping by the end, even though you weren't trying to entertain them. But the officer sort of looks at you and says, that is certainly an odd set of claims, and of course we know you are telling the truth as you believe it. Might be worth looking into. I can bring it up with the captain.
I would very much appreciate that.
We're gonna try to find more
uh,
evidence.
I would appreciate it. Keep in mind the gears of our government grind slowly.
Yes.
But evidence ever greases them.
On that front, this may be secret information, and I don't mean to pry all that much, but would you perhaps know of any of the sites of where the flames fell on this continent?
I apologize, citizen. I am not at liberty to share such information.
Right. Well, thank you for your time.
And you for yours.
And I guess I'll walk away before he starts asking really prying questions. Because as much as he does submit to the zone of truth, he does not want to answer random questions.
That's fair.
Good plan. Good
Um,
plan.
Does anybody else have anything specific they want to do in the city? Do you want to go check the job boards? Do you want to make plans for travel somewhere else?
I have a little bit of cash. I should probably buy some stuff.
It would be possible to catch Nusalin about the city as she moves about, like reorganizing her miners and such. So if you had any other questions for her, you could probably ask those as well.
What about anyone else? What does everyone else want to do? Job board,
I know
I got
you would
enough
be
shopping.
money.
looking for a place that's hidden by dwarves and have access to a
Yeah.
dwarf.
Yes.
Yeah. Zach definitely wants to try to find some information regarding Soft Deep, if possible.
What would you do to try and gather that information? Would you ask around town? Is there somebody specific you'd seek out?
I would probably start with he would probably start with Nusalin, since how she is a dwarf. And then see if she has any leads of who in the town may have more information.
Okay. Make your case to Nusalin. You find her in the Artisans Guild one day, going over some documents with a few of the designers. And she greets you pretty warmly. She's always happy to see somebody who's made her life a little easier. She says, "Oh, Thrak, it's good to see you. Is there something else I can do for you?"
Yes, Nusalin. I think when we first greeted, I mentioned trying to become a better smith, and looking to even possibly have some of the monaculite, which you declined me to be able to take. But I am trying to find Soft Deep and wanted to see if you had any information on how to find it.
She looks at you, like sort of like narrowing her eyes. What you looking for Soft Deep for?
Well, my goal is to become the greatest blacksmith. I studied over at Citadel Ironhole. Shit.
It was, yeah.
Okay. Citadel Ironhold with the dwarves there for a few years, and just felt I went as long as I could from learning from them, and I am now traveling, and I just heard about Soft Deep and the wonders and the smiths there. So that is my goal, is to try to learn from them to become and make the best weapon armor that I could possibly forge.
She looks thoughtful for several moments, sort of rubbing her chin, kind of like shuffling her feet a little bit, and then she says, "Well, Thrak, uh, I wish I could help you more. Uh, you've been good to me, clearing the mines and whatnot with your friends, but Soft Jeep's just one of them secrets. And then she reaches out to shake your hand.
Oh, well, I appreciate your honesty, Newton. he'll reach out and shake her hand.
She hands you a piece of paper during the handshake that says the thing I just DM'd you.
Okay. So Thrak will look at it and be like, nods his head and just sticks it in his pocket and waves and turns and walks away.
I do know what Oris would do.
What would Oris do?
Time to hit up some alchemists.
Some alchemists? What you buying from alchemists?
Nothing. I need their expertise.
Their expertise, I see, okay. There is a alchemy shop in the Gallenhide Market,
All right.
and I think I have notes on that on my world anvil. Give me just a second.
Need a brim.
No, I don't, because I'm dumb. No, I don't have notes on it. It's run by an elven woman, not quite as old as you are, but not hasn't known her younger days for some time either. And it's a small place, one of the few buildings in Gallenhide that are still made out of wood. Good God, my map is taking forever to load. And there are various like plant displays and things like that all throughout the building and sort of hanging out the windows and whatnot. And she looks up from the desk in the corner when you walk in and says, "Oh, welcome, welcome. What can I do for you?"
Oh, good day. I was hoping to pick your brain about a problem.
Oh, what problem are you having?
Well, it's more of a problem my friend is having.
I see.
Tell me, have you ever heard of anyone ingesting monaculite?
With naught but ill effect, but I have heard of it.
And you've only heard of ill effect, yes?
Indeed.
Interesting, interesting. Well, I have a friend who, for the past,
What did he say, like a year or so?
He's been consuming monaculite for the last decade.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's what he said.
I have a friend who has been, well, consuming monaculite for the better part of a decade.
Her eyes go
And,
like super wide when you say that.
well, as far as I can tell, his physiology has not changed all that much, besides his mental faculties and his glowing blue scales.
Scales?
Ah, yes, I forgot to mention, my friend is a kobold.
I don't know many who are friends with kobolds. And you say he's turned blue and glows?
Yes, very softly, but it is there.
Interesting. And he eats it every day?
From what I've been told, yes.
That is something I should like to study.
He said it increases his mental factories.
Oh, Kitpari, when did you get here?
I've always been here. I was flying right behind you. You didn't notice?
No, I didn't. Anyways, yes. Well, I can give you the chance to study, if you would wish, for he wishes to perform the experiment a second time on one of his compatriots.
That sounds like quite a dangerous undertaking.
And
I
unfortunately, he knows as such and lacks the expertise, which is why I am here.
see. It would be a shame to close the shop. Where's your friend?
Okay, this is the more difficult part. Have you heard of the Monaculite mine? Not too far from the city?
The one run by the Dark River girl.
Yes, that would be the one.
Yes, yeah, I know of them. They're quite a few days away, aren't they?
Yes, about a 3 days walk.
Mhm.
Maybe a day's ride.
So at least a week, just to get there and back.
That does
There's
sound
quite a lot of
correct.
business. She seems like really deep in thought about it. Like she's really struggling to put some
This
reason
is,
why she can go.
from what you've said, a complete anomaly and could be a breakthrough in a study
Very true.
and probably maybe advance your knowledge greatly on how Monaculite works
Go
and
ahead and
how
roll
it
a
works with
persuasion check.
physiology. Let me use my big dice for this. Come on. What the hell? I got a 16 total.
She continues to think for several seconds and then finally says, "Okay, I can't let this opportunity slip away. This is, if you're telling the truth, it seems rather far-fetched, but it could be quite miraculous."
I can guide you to their outpost, and they can guide you to their village.
All right, I'll go.
All right, great.
Clap and turn towards Kedpari.
You up for a little jaunt?
Yeah, I like jaunting. What's a jaunt?
It's more like something in between a jog and a skip.
Well, I fly. Is that?
I mean, you can be jaunty while flying, I think.
Then I'll skip alongside you. Just
I don't really skip anymore, but you're welcome to.
sure.
Great.
Does anybody else have things they would like to do in the city?
Not at the moment, no.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of money.
Fair enough. So, where do you actually take her, Oris? Do you take her like all the way to the mine?
Yeah, I think so, but I'm also debating on whether or not I want to hire like a carriage or some type of like horse or something like that. How much would it be to
Yeah.
rent a horse for a week for two people?
To rent a horse for a week for 2 people. Hang on. I feel like they have. So it's supposed to be 3 copper pieces per mile per the player's handbook. I'm gonna bump that
So
up to just like 2 silver per day, because that's easier to keep track of and still not an insane price, I don't think.
14 silvers, 1 gold, 4 silver.
Yes.
I'll pay that, sure.
So you rent horses, and that actually cuts your travel time like basically in half. So it only takes you a day and a half to ride out there. And then do you guide her down into the mine where you met the kobolds originally?
Yeah, because I assume that they probably would not respond kindly to someone they haven't met showing up near their
That's
area.
fair. So it takes you another day, and this time you're moving past like miners and stuff like that for the majority of it. But you get to the little area where you had gone into the tunnels with them, and you actually have to crawl in to the tunnels for about 10 or so minutes before you find a kobold. But you link them up to the woman, and they guide her to their home. Do you just head back out after that, or do you hang out while she starts her work? What do you do?
I think I hang out for like a day while she does her work, just to make sure that everything's kosher and everyone's all right and chill.
Sure. Yeah, it goes well enough. They were never like particularly vicious kobolds from what you
Yeah,
saw
I know, but like
personally.
just to be safe.
Um, and then you brought this person, so like they sort of inherently trust her.
Trust but
And
verify,
it
you know.
yeah, it goes pretty well for the first day.
Okay.
And then you spend another day going back up, and then another day and a half riding back. So that's 3, 4, 5 days.
Shit, did we ever tell
Um,
New Zealand about the kobolds?
No.
That's something that we should probably bring up. Maybe.
your first day of riding was very rainy.
I don't want to bring it up though because she might
And then
see
it
this
was a
cutting into
drizzle
her
for the next 2
profits.
days.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so it was a very wet experience on your way out, and then very sunny on the way back. If you didn't want to do anything, we can just say you spent 5 days just sort of relaxing in your apartment before you all came back together.
I
Sounds good.
imagine we're there for a month. Is that what we're there for?
You
How
have a
long are
month in the apartment, yeah, that you can use.
we? Thrak would probably, after the conversation with Newsland, probably see if there's any type of commission work for a
Ooh.
blacksmith or
You want to see
something.
if you can put your skills to work while
Right.
you're waiting around?
Yeah.
You can definitely do that. It's not the most common thing, but you're not like a master smith, but you're fairly
No.
skilled. You learned under dwarves, so it wouldn't be too hard to sell your skill to a smith for a week or so, which is about how long you have.
Right.
Weeks are 5 days in this world, and months are about 23 days long. Just as a
Okay.
side note for all that.
Right.
So roll me a blacksmith tools check to determine how much you make during that period.
15.
15. So over the course of 5 days, you shell out a lot of nails and tools and a couple weapons here and there. Nothing particularly fancy, and you earn about 20 gold.
Ball.
Baller.
Cool. And then after that, he'll just meet up with everyone. I'm assuming they're ready to do whatever.
When we all meet up, gonna talk to everyone about telling New Zealand about the kobolds. And just kind of gather everyone up, be like,
I think we forgot to mention that part. And well, I'm sort of worried to bring it up because, well, it is a business for her, and they are, well, eating her product.
I mean, if they've been doing it for 10 years, I don't think they're going to get caught anytime soon.
That's fair, I guess. Well, we probably need to tell them anyways. I took an alchemist down there with Kitpari.
Yeah,
Oh.
still not making circles with their mushrooms.
So if the alchemist comes out and, people are like, hey, what were you doing so down deep in the caves? I don't think she has any reason to lie to anybody.
Right. I mean, she doesn't have any reason to tell the truth either. But I see where you're coming from.
Miners definitely saw you take her down.
yeah, and not in return without her.
Yeah.
But these miners don't seem to care that much. They're just hitting rocks.
I mean, that's fair. They did seem to not be getting paid a whole lot.
The last miner that
Nobody
we talked to
questioned
said he didn't care as long as he was paid.
He was really drunk at the time.
He was drinking horse piss. How do you get drunk off that?
Carefully.
That's not literal horse. Never mind. Anyways, so you know what? We'll.
It's up to you. I don't mind. I don't think, like I said, I don't think they'll get caught anytime soon.
Who was there first? Was the kobolds or her?
Kobolds, technically, right? They've been there for over a decade.
So technically, would we run off her? She
Well,
infiltrated
I'm not telling
their
of anyone
mind.
running anyone off. I just don't want anyone to fight when they find each other. That's my problem.
History will remember the victor.
I'd prefer history to remember peace. That'd be great. Damn it. Alright, let's go tell Newsland.
Okay.
And then maybe we can find a job board for an escort job to, God,
Opens up his notebook.
Doramil or High Root.
All right. It's not terribly hard to find Newsland. And when you start explaining to her about the kobolds, she sort of interrupts you like mid-sentence, and she just goes, "Oh, you mean in the gold claws?
Oh, yo, you know about them.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to miss little beasties stealing from your operation."
Right. Well, they're just kind of trying to survive. And their leader's actually doing something pretty noble, though it requires some monaculite to experiment.
I mean,
Surely,
I haven't started any kind of war against them. I'm not putting bounties out on kobold ears or nothing.
we appreciate that. And they are, sort of friends to us, so we'd appreciate it if, everything kept friendly.
So
I'm
Jackie
sure I can keep
searches
the
the
boys
board.
friendly, as long as the kobolds don't go stabbing anybody.
I don't think they will, or at least we've tried to teach them not to.
Yeah, but look at how much they retain. They don't even plant their mushrooms in a circle.
Ketpari, that's not the issue with their entire society. It is a lack of retention of culture and knowledge.
Now you can tell me that.
Anyways, we do appreciate your help and discretion in this matter, Newsland. Tell me, is there anyone else that we could potentially talk to about more sites of where the flames fell on this continent?
Oh, I don't know. You'd have to find some fellow that just likes looking at the sky, I suppose. Those things weren't exactly easy to keep track of.
Right.
Do I know anyone like that? Or
Um,
of anyone like that?
you knew of a druid of the moon that lived in God, what's that city called? God damn it, Garabel. She likes to
Okay.
look at the sky.
That's at least on this continent.
That's true.
It
It
is
is.
far away though.
Yeah, it's kind of a journey, but so is High Root or Doramil, so.
Yeah,
Why
either
is
place you're
nothing ever
going is
close?
a couple of weeks of travel, really.
Right. Okay, and we can always ask information of people on the way.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We need to buy like a large tent for everybody.
I get a large tent?
I think he
You all
means
gonna
just
share
like
one tent?
one
That
big
would be
tent.
best.
5 of you, a 5-person tent would probably have to be special ordered, and would cost, hang on.
I'm guessing like 10 gold
I would say like
for
4.5
materials.
people.
That's fair. It's really more like a 4-person tent. A 2-person tent is 2 gold, so yeah, it's probably like 4 gold for a 4-person tent.
I'll pay 5 gold to get a really nice material
Sure. Okay,
because I'm old and
it's
want comfort.
waterproof in that case.
Yeah.
Like the tents with like the pillows built into the floors.
Yeah. So I'll pay an extra gold for that. I'll have Thrak carry it.
Okay.
Yeah, a 2-person tent was 10 pounds, so this is probably closer to 20 for the sake of your carry capacity.
Um, how much rations does everyone have?
Excuse me.
So everyone should buy some rations.
Yeah.
Those are a silver a ration, right?
I'm pretty sure. Hang on just a second. Ooh. 1 day of rations is actually 5 silver.
Oof. Okay, so 2 days is a gold. So
Yes. Mm-hmm.
we'll do 10 days for 5 gold. For me, anyways.
The same.
Sounds like a good plan.
Those weigh a
Where do you
pound
all
each, right?
plan to head next?
First, let's go check the job board. Is there any like escort type like jobs available for any of the locations we heard about?
Jaquise checks
Garabelle.
the board for anything where you're collecting kobold ears.
Get the fuck out of here.
Unfortunately, you don't see either of those kinds of things.
Unfortunate.
Damn!
There's one person looking for their cat. They're fairly certain that they're in Gallenhide somewhere. And then there's a posting from, or 2 postings from the Adventurers Guild. One is for apparently in a nearby, like outside the city graveyard. There are reports that there's a necromancer working like some kind of horrible ritual out there. Citizens report hearing like strange music emanating from within the graveyard when they pass by it at night, and have noticed like some open empty graves that weren't previously empty. The other one is actually a distant posting for a job in the Low Enkar Woods. There are apparently creatures somehow like infused with monaculite that are harassing people that get near the edges of the woods.
So we're going to the forest, right?
That's on Tyrondale, Low Enkar Wood.
Right. That's right. God, why is all of these so far away? All right. I'm interested in the necromancer job or the forest job. We could always just also head to Garabelle or Doramel or Hyrule.
I think that we should end this necromancer.
If it even is a necromancer, there's just been reports of strange music and sounds.
Oh, that is them. Let's go to the forest.
I am okay with that.
I'm okay with shooting a necromancer in the face.
All right. We'll deal with the local problem and then maybe move on.
Take the posting off the board. Who do we contact?
So you just report to the clerk at the Adventurers Guild.
Right, there's the one who posted it.
And it's noted that the payout is the standard reward for non-guild members, or to ask about the guild member reward.
Should we become guild members of the Adventurers Guild? It's a great question.
That is exactly what Jaquise is going to do. That's why he came to Golumnroot. Or Gallenhide.
Really?
I thought it was to find your father.
I was not looking for him. I am
Ouch.
here for better paying work. I am tired of chasing the scum of the world.
Is that what you've
No,
been doing these past few years?
But of course I must make a living.
Right, but never mind. I suppose it is an honest day's work. Are you any good at it?
I am alive.
Man.
If I was the
Right.
best, you would already know about it.
So you head over to the Adventurers Guild.
Yeah, while we're going there. But I do pose the question to everyone, like,
Do we sign up for membership?
Might as
That's-
well. We're adventurers.
I've never really thought about it, but if we're gonna be doing stuff like this,
and he holds up the notice.
then we should maybe sign up, right? Do we need like a team name? Is that a thing?
You're going to have to explain how this whole Adventurers Guild thing works.
I vote
Well-
our team name be Kadpari's Minions.
The Adventurers
Pizza.
Guild is sort of a government type thing, right? I'm not incorrect in that.
So the Adventurers Guild is actually a private organization that contracts out services to the local populace. Usually it's the monster hunting kind. Somebody has some kind of beast ravaging their farm or threatening their families or whatever, because it's evil and it does that. The Adventurers Guild can be paid a little more cheaply than some other services to come and squash that problem as quickly as possible.
Exactly what I said. Yes, that.
I see.
And I mean, we did just
Sounds-
hunt down a mana golem and beat.
like
I don't even know what
Pascals.
Zobi was.
A crazy alien elf with magic.
That.
True. Well, it would be good combat experience.
And I mean, well, apparently they pay more if you're a member. Though I wonder what the restrictions are, if there are any. Anyway, we'll ask.
I'm okay with signing up, I suppose.
Well, let's go figure it out then.
And I guess we'll go to the clerk's office.
All right, so you head to the Adventurers Guild, and it's the single largest wooden structure in the entirety of Gallenhide. It's 3 stories large, and the floor, the like, it's not really a lobby that you walk into, because you walk into like this huge hall, that has this one just huge long table that stretches all the way across it, that sits in front of like 3 separate fireplaces. Above the fireplaces are just this huge wall of like trophies from various monster kills. And you can see people sitting at the table, like drinking and laughing and telling stories together. And off to your right, as you enter, is a small desk with a young gnome woman sitting at it.
Okay. Walk up.
Hello, miss. How are you today?
She looks up from a book she had been reading and says, "Oh, hi, I'm Zennywise. It's good to meet you."
It's a pleasure to meet you as well. I am Oris. These are my companions and my son.
Well, welcome to the Adventurers Guild. What can we do for you today?
Well, a couple things, maybe. The first is we saw this notice on the job board.
And I'll hold it up.
And you just ripped it off there.
Was I not supposed to do that?
Well,
No,
it's sort of
I learned in the first episode you're not supposed to do that.
sort of makes it hard for, others to see it. Should you not decide to take the job,
Oh,
or
well.
See,
you know,
we're
heaven
gonna
forbid,
take the
fail
job.
at it.
No one else
Oh
is
my
gonna
God.
need to see it.
Speaking of the first episode, I know what our team name is going to be.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
no.
Lay it on me. What do you got?
Champions of Pioneering Slavery, and we're cops. Because that's what it is.
Oh, Jesus.
Wait, so we're actively working towards slavery?
Like, we're cops, and we're pioneering slavery because it doesn't exist.
It sort of does, just in a more contractual obligation.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to get into. We're trying to tap that market.
They're trying to
Oh,
tap that
no.
market.
It looks like Xemnas is having some power issues, so they're sort of in and out right now.
No,
Somebody make sure to take good notes.
I'm taking
Yeah.
the notes.
Oh, man.
Well, I'll put it back up when I'm done. So don't worry about that, I guess.
Sorry, what did you say?
I'll put it back up when I'm done. I
Don't
suppose.
don't worry about it. And she just sort of takes it from you, and then like looks over at a young boy that's just sort of like sitting behind her desk playing with some kind of small toy. She says, "Hi, why don't you go hang this back up for me? Yeah, all right, I'll see you soon." And he runs off out the doors.
Give him something to do at least. Anyways,
So,
uh,
is there some special question you had about that job?
a couple. Do you perhaps have a copy of the reports that were made? And additionally, we wanted to ask about membership.
He like reaches under the desk and pulls out like a large like uh it's similar to a modern ring-bound notebook, but it's not like spring-loaded. It's sort of like they're just catches that she
Right.
has to like manually make sure are in place. She opens it up and like flips through a few times. She says, "Aye, here it is, the graveyard stuff." And she pulls it out. And she says, "I don't have a copy you can have now. You can't fucking take this one, okay?" But she hands it to you.
The tone
And
is
as you,
unnecessary.
He says as he looks down.
I mean, you seem like you've been around the block, Oris.
I
Should have
mean,
damn well known.
I haven't really been an adventurer long. I was a wandering storyteller for. Well, let's not get into that.
Yeah, I bet you wouldn't like to.
Anyways,
Looks down. Starts reading the reports.
So all of them are pretty consistent. There is some kind of like strange noise that emanates from the within the graveyard, usually only at night. And it resembles vaguely to people that have been brave enough to get vague like sort of close to the mausoleum in the graveyard. It sounds sort of like dance music.
Hmm.
And again, there are open, empty graves that used to have bodies in them.
I see. I have a random side question for you.
Okay.
Does the word Eratoman mean anything to you?
Hmm. Give me just a moment here. And she thumbs through some more like books that she pulls out from under the desk. Ooh, yeah, she finds it. Aye, they say the those ruins out in the Tarnian jungles were Eratomans.
Ruins
Supposedly,
in the
sometime long
jungle.
ago.
Interesting.
Aye. You won't find any there anymore, of course. Abandoned for a long time.
Right.
We don't have too much information on them, just a name, really.
That's fine. Thank you. I appreciate that. Uh, Now about membership. Would you explain that more?
Certainly. Membership with the guild is not without cost. Uh, you are obligated to complete at least one job every 6 months, i.e., keep the gold rolling in. Um, Otherwise, uh, you are entitled to a bit more than the common folk who take on jobs from us straight from the job boards. The standard payout for non-guild members for any given job is 500 gold pieces to you and your party, meaning that's for you to split, if that was confusing. That was an odd way to word it, I know. Um, the standard guild member payout is 750 gold pieces.
And other than the increased pay on jobs, what's the benefit of membership?
Well, you're assigned to your very own guild scout, who will not only field your missions and find you things that's worth your time, but will also take the time to scout the locations for you and have some better information than you just walking in blind.
If we join, we get a secretary?
No, a scout.
Yeah.
Right. And
They're not
does
there to
that
take your fucking
service
notes.
cost
Basically,
anything?
the adventure's secretary.
I mean, that's actually not wrong. That's kind of what a scout is, but anyways.
Yeah. If the adventure is an office, the scout is
Is
the
it an office
secretary.
though? Is it an office though?
In this
Yes.
metaphor, it is.
if
But
this
is it
office
actually?
If this office was the actual Wolf of Wall Street, maybe.
It is. It's just like an office. You're running adventures like a business, but shit can go wrong at any moment.
Sure. They'll be offended if you call them a secretary. Just throwing it out there. But she says, oh no, it's part of being a member of the guild. Like I said, you gotta keep the coin rolling in for us at least once every 6 months. But
Right.
otherwise, that's what we're here for, to support each other in getting the job done and clearing baddies out of this world.
There's no dues or anything like that.
No. Who's got time to keep track of all that shite?
What about
Fair enough.
don'ts?
I
Uh,
don't think you know what dues means, Katbari.
Well, you might be right.
So do we is it like individual sign up? Do we sign up as a team? What's the deal with that?
well, you can sign up as an individual. You'll be generally fielded jobs that are on the smaller end because you're just by yourself, or you can sign up as a group and receive your payments as one big large group.
Right.
Turn towards everyone else.
How does that sound for everybody here?
We have the best team name.
We're not using your team name.
I quit.
Every time I try to think of your teammate, my mind goes to other places.
People are gonna be like, "Oh my god, it's the cops!" and they're going to run.
Right. So, no objections?
I don't think I have any objections.
All right.
So you'll be joining then.
Yeah, go ahead and sign up.
Perfect. Just a few things to fill out, and she hands over a few forms it's just a little bit of personal information: who you are, your skill set, your level of experience, and your what you consider your hometown. And you take your time to fill that out, and as you all hand your papers back, she says, "Now, all right, there is one final thing. Obviously, if you're off traveling the world, adventuring, there can't be one of us with you all the time, making sure you're doing what you're supposed to, as far as your once every 6 months jobs go. So you're gonna have to agree to a magical contract of sorts, not of sorts, and exactly that."
All right. Can I see the contract?
Oh no, it's one of those fancy ones where you speak it out loud. So you must agree to once every 6 months find and complete a job for the Adventurers Guild. And then you all have to repeat. You would know, as people of this world, that to agree to a magical contract, you repeat your agreement 3 times.
I would repeat it 3 times.
Likewise.
I will also repeat it 3 times.
I repeat it 2 8/7 times.
Respect. I don't know how you got the 1/8 in there, but respect.
He started saying it again. I was like, oh crap, I've already done it 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Hey,
just kind
sorry,
of like
I got a little distracted as I
out.
like sort of intentionally zoned out when Bonnie did his thing. Does anybody not agree to the contract? No. Okay, perfect. So you sign up as a group and are now fledgling members of the Adventurers Guild. Zammy Wise, as she introduced herself, looks at you all and says, "Well, all right then. Welcome to the guild. Rough Bean will be your first scout. She's a little, well, the rough part of her name is pretty accurate, but she's a good one, that little goblin."
Oh, Rough Bean. Where is she, so that we might introduce ourselves?
The magical contracts of this realm are not bound by Fey logic. You will have to do a job that actually brings in coin for the guild.
They didn't say how much coin.
No, they didn't. No, they did
2
not.
coppers.
Right, yeah. 2
Find my
coppers.
cat.
They just said you had to do a job.
They didn't say who the job had to be from, too. We could just make our own personal contract to ourselves and then do it.
They did say it had to be for the Adventurers Guild.
It is. It's for the Adventurers Guild, but they didn't
So
say
one of
who
us
it
just
had to
puts
be
on a
from.
toupee and a mustache, walks into Adventurer Guild, puts up a job posting of like, I need someone to clear out my rhododendras, and then
Yep. I
Okay.
need someone
we
to
could-
scratch my back. All right, here is a copper.
You notice they don't charge their members fees, but they pay their members a lot of gold for finishing jobs.
they do.
Wonder where that gold comes from.
well,
Do you think it's maybe the people who post the jobs?
I think they just keep printing money.
Oh, that's a good
Ruining
answer.
the economy.
That's a good answer.
So yeah, well, let's go find Rough Bean, our new scout.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask a question to Jacques. Is your other guy in our is he part of our group? Did he sign his name? Did he say the thing?
Oh, he totally filled out 2 applications.
Oh, okay.
But of course he did. We are one and the same.
You know, I've been meaning to talk to you about that, but I don't think...
That is very nice, but we can talk later.
Right, yes. Anyways,
Look around. Do I see like a goblin scout, or does she point out Rough Bean to us?
She is happy to point her out, but Rough Bean's pretty hard to miss. She's the only goblin in the building.
Okay.
And you can actually see her at one of the ends of the table. And she's like standing on top of it with one foot and like thrusting a mug into the air, telling some story about fighting some monster.
Oh, Oris definitely goes to listen to the story.
Yeah, so she's claiming that she and a rather experienced party of adventurers fought a chimera together, and it was her knife in between its shoulder blades that finished it off.
Pretty sure she's lying about the last part, but inside check anyways.
Roll it.
Oh, I got a 14 total.
As far as you can tell, that little goblin girl killed the chimera with her dagger.
Congratulations to her then. Oris will clap along when she finishes. He'll find where, like, is there like just like tapped kegs that I can go get a nail from or something like that?
Yeah, it's basically an open bar for guild members.
Fair enough. I will go up, get myself a mug and a mug for Rough Bean and head on over and offer it to her when she's finished.
She like takes a huge swig from the mug that's currently in her hand and like slams it empty onto the table, and she's just like, "Ah, perfect! I was just running out," and grabs it from you and starts taking another great big swig.
Hello, Rough Bean. I am Oris. It is a pleasure to meet you. Wonderful story.
She sets the mug back down on the table and goes, "Ah." Well, thank you. I do like to tell a good story every now and again. So,
you and
who
me have
exactly
that
are
in common.
you, Oris?
Ah, I am a newly minted adventurer, I guess.
Mm.
And
Love
you've
it.
been assigned to our group for this recent job that we've taken.
Yeah, they always give the new ones to me.
Yeah, well,
Make little flower do it one of these fucking days.
you know, we're all right, people. I bought you an ale and all. Oh, brought you an ale and all.
Okay, is that supposed to? I don't know. Lots of people bring me drinks.
Is that a brag? If not, if it is,
No,
it's not a very
it's more
humble
of a
one.
like, what is that supposed to mean to me? Like,
It feels like a brag. Feels like you're bragging to me right now, which is fine. You're young. I understand.
I'm 11. I'm gonna be dead in like 4 years.
That's, I mean, really?
I'm as
I
old as
thought
a
Weird
goblin
flex, but
gets.
okay.
I thought you've at least lived to like 3 decades, right? Is that wrong?
Mm, I don't know how many goblins you know.
A few. Not a lot, though, admittedly.
You
Well,
don't get very old.
and to be fair, I've only met them once, and when I go back, they're no longer there.
That
But,
should sort of speak to what I'm talking about.
right? I mean, I've met a lot of people. Do you see, like,
He like points to like his wrinkly ass face.
You all look the same to me.
that's kind of racist.
I was reminded of when like Squidward pointed at his face and it was just like really easy, like frowning.
She doesn't react to your racist comment.
Fair enough. Anyways, we do need you to scout the cemetery just outside town, inside town. Where is the cemetery?
So according to the reports you read, it's only a few miles outside of Gallenhide, but it's set off the road because, or like set outside the city because they wanted to dedicate a special space to some of the heroes from the Barbarian War.
All right. Well, yes. Uh, we need you to, figure out what these reports are any veracity, like truthful or anything like that, because dance music
Oh
is
yeah,
kind of a weird number.
the music plays.
But before we do that, I will show you how to tell a real story. So sit down.
I don't. That's not part of the job.
Sit down, young lady.
Sammy Wise. He's trying to make me do stuff I don't want to. The little gnome just like looks over, smiles and like shrugs. Damn it. Tell your fucking story.
You
Right.
work for us now. You will listen to the story.
Geese, don't be rude. Now then, let us do a continuation of the god story that I was telling a couple weeks ago.
God.
Where they traveled to the. God, what was it? Did they go to the dance? Was it? That's the place they went, right?
They were there at some point or another, yeah.
Well, from the festival, they went north to the Dancing Oasis to deal with the emotionless halflings.
That is one of the places they went. I don't remember if it was right after the festival that they went there, but yeah. It was
So yeah,
definitely one of the places they went. It's close enough.
I will tell that story, spending a spell point to, of course, ham it up, and
Yep.
24 on my
So,
performance.
you tell a fantastic retelling of the tale of the gods finding their way to these desert caves that had this strange, ominous music pouring through it. And in the very center of this network of caves, they found some strange. They weren't sure if it was devilish or demonic, but some creature that was creating this music with its throat and like pouring it through the sands that was causing the halflings to become emotionless and unable to enjoy life the way they typically did. uh, Rough Bean looks entirely unimpressed at the end of your performance. And is just kind of like, okay, that was really nice.
Now for my next story.
What exactly did you want to know about the graveyard before I go somewhere else and you can't get the information anymore?
Right. Have you already scouted the place?
I live here, so yeah, I've been before.
Right. But you haven't scouted it yet, right?
I've gone and had a look since the reports came in. It's been a few weeks.
So your information is weeks old, is what you're telling me.
Yeah,
That's not good.
it's not current. That doesn't make it bad.
That makes it inaccurate at best.
It could be.
So why don't you go scout it and we'll meet you halfway and you can give us a report then?
I don't know. Why'd you make me sit through that story?
Well, telling stories is an important passion of mine, and I thought I'd share it with you, but you seem unimpressed, so I guess I'll just take my old bones back to my room while you go to the cemetery. Yes,
Yeah, I'll be back in a few
wonderful.
hours.
That's really fast.
It's not that far from here. How fast do you walk?
I mean,
Slow, huh?
admittedly, pretty fast. I have a walking speed of 35 feet.
Of course you say some shit. Well, I mean, again, it's only a few miles from here. It doesn't take very long.
Great. Well, I'll be here telling more stories and getting a little more drunk.
She gets up from the table, finishes her mug, and then leaves.
Hi, Rough Bean. That's a kind lass. Who
I'm
wants to
assuming
hear
you
another
all
story?
hang out at the Adventurers Guild while you wait for her to return.
I would like to get a drink that is obviously about the size of me, and obviously too heavy for me to carry back to the table.
Yeah, you spill a bunch of it. Yeah. But there's still probably enough in the mug that you could easily like get pretty drunk off of it as a fairy. But yeah, so you all hang out, have some drinks, watch Oris tell stories, and sure enough, a few hours later, it's rather late in the evening at this point, but Rough Bean returns. And she says, yeah, like I said before, music plays.
Is that the entirety of your report, or am I just supposed to extrapolate from your nonsense?
I mean, it's not nonsense to confirm the reports, but no, there's more. Yeah, I just
Then,
not your biggest fan right now. It's some furbolg lady. She's dancing with skeletons.
how many skeletons?
Oh, like a lot.
That's not a number.
15 or so.
What is making the music?
Oh, she is.
Drums, flutes, music? Like what's going on?
No, she's one of those fancy new bards with they make it out of like their magical energy. It's all kinds of instruments.
Okay, interesting. Um, Now the skeletons, did you see any graves being raised? Anything like that?
No, she wasn't doing any digging.
But nothing was coming out of the graves either.
Not tonight.
Okay. Weapons?
They didn't seem to have any.
I'm out of questions. Anyone else?
Well, I don't think I have any questions.
Yeah, I don't have any questions either.
Great. Well, thank you for your report, Roughbean. Continue
I
getting
never
drunk.
ask for a secretary in the first place.
Yeah, so she just goes back to the table and sits back down while you guys deliberate about what you'll do next.
Well, I mean, I don't really see anything wrong with dancing. The skeletons part is alarming, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I mean, who is it actually harming?
Sounds like nobody, just upset people nearby.
Well, I'm sure they have loved ones buried there and all of that. That is a problem.
And now they get to party.
Well, I'm not really convinced that the necromancer, if that even what the furbulk is, should be taken out, but we should at least talk with them and see what's going on. I'm sure there might be a reason for why they're dancing in the middle of a graveyard with a bunch of skeletons.
You know how long it's been since I danced? We should go join them.
I'm gonna guess like a week.
No. You gotta have the right kind of music.
Yeah, I'm not much of the music person. Well, I do like music, I just can't make any.
And
So do you
people in
guys
the
make your way to the graveyard then?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I don't mind going in the dark if no one else minds.
Oh, I don't. It's
Let me
got
just
dark vision.
double check this map real quick.
But if we are leaving the town, I am no longer Shakis.
Look at this.
There we go. And then I need to check the. Yeah, okay. So it's only a few miles away, so it really only takes around an hour or so for you all to make your way to the graveyard. Doot, 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 and then players summon. Ignore my building pieces back there off the edge of the board. I just
What is that
didn't feel
thing
like suddenly
floating in the
deleting it.
sky?
No.
But yeah, this is where you find yourselves.
Do we maybe want to call it here before we move on?
We certainly could. I know it's getting late for our friends on the East Coast. So.
And I know Cecil's still having troubles and hasn't been here for like the past 10 minutes or so.
Indeed.
Yeah, probably good if we could call it here.
I
Alright.
think so.
Let's do that then. It was a
Yeah.
great session, everybody. I had a great
Yeah.
time.
We can come in.
I had lots and lots of fun.
Solid adventure.
Yeah, I had a great time too.
Well then, folks.
Just as a heads up for everybody, Mongoose won't be with us next week. They have something they
No.
have to do. We are going to continue to play. With a group of 5, it's a lot easier to play with just one person missing. I mostly warn everybody so that you will know to take really good notes next week. And I will also try and make sure I have some notes that might be specific to their character. But otherwise, I look forward to seeing everybody else next week. Yeah.
Nice.
Sounds good.
I'll see you all then.